This for the niggas and bitches and niggas for the niggas hit them switches and pull niggas triggers. Who been crumping the weed and rolling the swisher. Keep on banging on corners and drinking that liquor. Keep that thug shit real when you fucking with me. Keep your sights on steel when you gunning for me. I put my pistol in your mouth and tell your ass to goggle. Gangsta shit so potent it should be sold in bottles. Take a sip and go to hell, get drunk and then end up in the trunk. Fuck jail, you thinking DUI? No, that ain't how you die. It was my thugs and slugs that was the reason why. You niggas thought I was soft, but now it's blood that you caught. And now these shells hit the ground as I'm busting off. 9 double in Beretta, no there's nothing better. Tear the flesh in your chest and now your shirt is wetter. Me and this wild wild together like we husband and wife. This gangsta shit ain't just a song, it's a way of life. We are the thugs.
Share. Pussy niggas is dead. Hollow points tipped with lead, putting gaps through heads. That's what it be like when the street lights get to flickering. Niggas get to bickering and slugs get to tickling. We them niggas that just don't ask. We take your cash, transplant or put your ass. Right hands to your left eye. Hey, Mr. Tough Guy, when slugs fly, I guarantee your shirt won't dry. In times of peace, my niggas playing wars. Stack dope, sit mowing, then we bang whores. We been through gang wars. We bout that green, we bout that murder scene. Pull a tool that's sure to leave your shoulders clean. Cause when it all goes down, I got that heat. You was slow on the drawing, now you worm me. Because
we are the thugs.
Y'all niggas ain't shit but wannabes and slug. But not for my fucking enemies, it's blood. For my niggas, I was shorty bleed my blood. For my niggas, I was shorty bleed. It's Gio, the same nigga that was ready for war, ready for fame and everything it had in store. And I ain't changed, I'm still on the block with my dog. Smoking weed, busting shells, leaving the block for the fall. For my niggas who didn't get to see me achieve. Some died over beef and some died over greed. I'm smoking weed, I'm trying to get rid of the pain. Lord, please bless me to continue my thing. I'm from the streets, and it's been a hard knock life. I'm in it deep, and that's why I don't think nice. I don't sleep, and that's why I don't like lights. I hold heat, and that's why you won't blink twice.
We are the thugs. We're born to die. We hustle for money, for bitches and get high.
what y'all wanna bang with me, bust them things with me? You little bitch ass niggas can't hang with me. Why be the hood of the no good? Breaking your studio niggas down to the flow wood. I'm here to check the game, nigga, respect the name. Or I'ma pull my 4-5 out and select the brain, inject the pain, and leave you for the news to cover. Another victim of Mac Lover, wild motherfucker. Y'all ain't never seen a motherfucking street like me. Ballin' from the Midwest, bringing heat like me. So niggas make way, cause I'ma bring it to you hard. No mercy on your mark, so bow down to my facade and feel the pressure. A real thug from the streets, we do what we wanna do. Nigga, fuck the police, I'm the mouth of madness. Bringing the pain and the sadness, I be the baddest. Smoking niggas to the ashes, Alpha and Omega. Spitting raw from thug data. Dark is Darth Vader with the strength of the creator.
When it all goes down, nigga. When it all goes down, talk to me.
Y'all looking for me? Yeah. Y'all looking for me? Y'all looking for me? Well, here I is. Hey. Here I is. Here I is. What?
Well, here I go on another show. And this is the relationship in case you didn't. I done fucked up out the gate. Look here. I'm ready. I have exercised my demon. And I'm ready now to actually have a conversation. So, on tonight, unless you are doing some real fuck shit, I'm gonna let you say what you wanna say, and I'm gonna let y'all pretty much do the talking, because I really wanna hear from y'all. So, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this beat real quick. Shout out to my man Bud with the relationship rehab beat. Look, so I thought about this long and hard on how I want to do it. I really have been wanting to go live for a few days now, but just couldn't, because I got to take care of my family, god damn it. But that neither here nor there. I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this show. My initial thought was to get out here and talk about just the outright cheating. And yes, that's a thing to talk about. It's absolutely worth discussing. Me being the doctor of discussion, I definitely believe that needs to be discussed. But I was trying to think of a good direction for this show to go into. And that was the biggest thing that I was kind of like torn about. Like, I could do this or I could do that. I was thinking about getting a bunch of facts together, getting a bunch of data together and presenting the data, saying this is what we do here and this is how we do it there. But then I thought about this and I said, well, this is kind of one of those moments where I want to kind of hear from you guys, and I want to give you guys an opportunity to speak, because a lot of times, most of the time, because it's my goddamn channel, I do the talking. But I actually want to hear you guys' opinions. I want to hear your thoughts, and I don't just want to talk about where things have gotten us to, what has gotten us to this point and where we're at right now. I actually want to do a little more forward thinking, and I want to talk about where we're going to go from here. Because one of the things that I did notice over these past, because I ain't been live in 6 days, I believe. And one of the things that I noticed with this is that, and it was real puzzling to me, and like a lot of things on social media, I tell you, social media, one of the things it's really done for me, and I keep saying this, it is a true indicator as to how lost we are. I'm telling you, we as a society have a ton of opportunities, but us as far as black folks, man, we really fucked up. And one of the reasons why I say that is because niggas is acting like, now that Biden and Harris are the presumably right now the media elected presidents, they really think like shit is good. We can kick back our heels now. We have exercised the demons and life is gonna be wonderful now. Niggas is ready to start dancing. Them niggas is in the streets dancing and everything like this shit was really something. And I was just like, yeah, but and not the fact that my candidate lost, but my thing was, so what the fuck did they say they was gonna do again? That was my biggest thing. I said, so what the fuck did they say they was gonna do for us now that what was the agenda? Because everything that they've talked about has been not Trump. As long as it ain't Trump, it's all right. So it's like, now I want to, and this is my biggest point that I want to make over this, because this shit ain't over. I do know that. I do know that this shit ain't over. If y'all don't remember, back in 2000, there was a young man by the name of, I called this motherfucker Frank Gore the other day when I was on the phone with a friend of mine, but it wasn't Frank Gore. Frank Gore is the motherfucking running back for the San Francisco 49ers. It wasn't him. There was a man named Al Gore that ran, and he did there was a similar thing. It was just over a state, but it was the state that could have put him in office. And these motherfuckers didn't count on fucking purpose.
some 20 something plus thousand votes that came from overseas that were mail-in votes from our soldiers. And these motherfuckers didn't count them down in Florida. They said, fuck it. And Gore fucked up by doing one of a few things. He conceded. And I'm so glad that Donald Trump has not done that. And I would advise him, I wish I was in a room with him, I would advise him not to. Fuck a concession speech. Fuck let's move on and let's do what's best for the country. Fuck that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If you're going to beat me, motherfucker, beat me fair and square. So I'm just saying that I hope that they have taken notes from that playbook from what Gore did, because Gore conceded, then realized that these motherfuckers cheated, then called back and cussed Bush out, and the shit wound up going to the Supreme Court, and they said, nope, you the president, and move on. But that's what happened. But my biggest thing about this is I hope, and I'm going to be watching all of my friends, families, social media pages, because I swear to God, I hope that these motherfuckers have the same fine-tooth combs they had out against Trump and the same magnifying glasses that they had out against Trump for the next 4 years if this shit do go left. Literally and figuratively. If this shit go that way, and I would advise all of y'all to watch your friends who post some shit about Trump every fucking day, who talk shit about Trump every night, woke up with Trump on their mind. I mean, Trump was truly the nigga you love to hate these past 4 years. And I'm telling you, I hope that these same social justice warriors are just as critical of this possible administration that may be being ushered in, fairly or unfairly. I hope they have the same type of criticism, and I hope that they dominate their fucking timelines like Trump has. Because I'm telling you like this, and for those of you who know me, y'all know I ain't lying when I say this. I am truly, and I told you so nigga. My wife can attest to it. My dearest friends of 30 years can attest to it. You know that motherfucker that you know that always be like, I told you so. I told your ass. I am that nigga. I'm on the board of that committee. Believe that. And I'm telling you, I'm on all of these niggas. Y'all motherfuckers better block me. That's all I'm saying. You better fucking block me. If you don't have that same, somebody said the same energy in the chat. If you ain't got that same energy for these two motherfuckers, I'm at your ass. I'm going to call you what the fuck you is. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to do what I want to do. And the only way you're going to stop it is you better block me. That's all I want to say. I don't want to hear no all, but I don't want to hear. You cannot go back to the excuses that you used for Obama. Y'all can't do that now. With the way y'all went in on Trump and Pence, y'all cannot go back to the good old talking points that y'all used to defend Obama, which was, oh, he didn't have no support and he's the president, dog. He can't take care of local issues because you motherfuckers done put everything onto this motherfucking administration. Everything that's wrong in life. Racism, Trump fault. COVID, Trump fault. Anything that's wrong. I woke up with a headache, Trump fault. The grass has an overabundance of weeds, is Trump fault. So y'all better have that same energy. Y'all better have that same vitriol for these motherfuckers the same exact way, or I'm on your ass. And I'm going to call you what y'all. Ain't shit niggas and bitches. That's what I'm doing. That's all I got to say. The other thing that I want to say before we get off into this, it's amazing to me how nobody has literally on the Democratic side even thought to question these fucking results. Didn't even think to question like, damn, that nigga did that? And I'm telling you like this, I promise y'all, if this was Barack Obama running against Trump, I'd be like, that nigga is that good. I would. I would honestly give Barack Obama could do what they saying Biden did. He could. He was that good. He was that much of a finesser. He was that smooth. He was that articulate. He was that well spoken. Whatever the fuck you want to call it, Barack Obama, say what the fuck you want to say about him. He's one of the coldest politicians of all time. I'm telling you, I can only think of one time in them 8 years that he ever like, yeah, you kind of like fucked up. And that was that fucking debate that he had where he kind of like had a fucking brain fart. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him. I don't know if he was tired being on the campaign trail or whatever, but you can actually go back, you can look that shit up on YouTube. He was so fucking off and his cylinders were not firing properly that time. Other than that, the nigga is flawless when it comes to being able to talk, being able to politic, and just being that person out front. One of the coldest ever to do it. I'm telling you right now, you can talk your Lincolns, you can talk your Kennedys, you can talk all. If I needed to sell dope, if I needed to sell death, if I needed to sell destruction to a group or a mass of people, I'd want him. He'd be my first choice. Hey, we got to get 40% of the population to march off into this volcano. You need to get Barack Obama. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm going. That's going to be. You need to do what? 40% of the population to freely walk into. Go get Barack Obama. That's the type of motherfucker he is. I'm giving him his props. I'm calling it what it is. The motherfucker is smooth. The motherfucker, he knows how to be funny. He knows how to capture an audience. He got it. That je ne sais quoi, he got it. That X factor, he got it. I'm telling you right now, he got that shit. And it's one of those things to where pimp, whatever you want to call it, pimp game, pimping. He got it. Fuck with him, you know he got it. That's all I'm saying. But and we'll get off into this, and I'm actually gonna open up the lines, and I'm gonna have everybody you can call in. And to those people who are going to choose to call in, all I'm telling you is this: we're having a conversation. You will not be able to go on long ass diatribes. You will have to talk facts, truth, and you must acknowledge points. If you ain't trying to do that, don't call the fuck in. That's all I'm telling you right now. Don't call in. Please don't. Don't do it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. All right? If you ain't here to do that, don't call in. To these people that's in the chat, let these people, to my moderators, please let them say whatever they want to say. Only thing that I don't want them to do, motherfuckers obviously can't talk some crazy shit, insulting shit about a motherfucker. They can call me a coon and all that shit. That's fine. But motherfuckers can't spam my chat. That's one thing I don't tolerate. That's chat spamming bullshit. Fuck that. Get their ass the fuck out of here. If they can't ask a question, if they can't talk, fuck them. Plain and simple. Say what they want to say. The link is going to be in here. I got a couple of things I'm going to say real quick. And then it's going to be whatever it is. And you can come and say whatever the fuck you want to say. Talk how you want to talk. Just be respectful. And let's have a conversation. Other than that, you will get the fuck on and get the fuck out. All right? Well, all right. All right. So, one of the things that I definitely, as far as, let's start from where the shit kicked off at. The media, you definitely need to realize and understand from here going forward how important it is for people that are on social media, that have YouTube channels, that got uh, 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 their media platforms, like what Tommy does with his website and his OnlyFans. If you ain't got his OnlyFans, subscribe to his OnlyFans. Um, you definitely want to do that. But the importance of that is, it is so important because these motherfuckers and what they did for this election, and I'm talking all of the major networks, they literally like was just saying, "Oh, we gonna just put this shit out here. We gonna king this motherfucker. Fuck what y'all talking about. Fuck the numbers. Fuck the election. We gonna put him." They put him out front from the beginning, and that was it. The fact that they refuse to call cities, to call counties, to call fucking states that Trump had clearly won, it was terrible. And it wasn't just CNN, it was Fox, it was all of them. It was fucking terrible. Like the numbers they were, and what was so bold about it was that they were showing you the numbers. And they wouldn't call it, but they would call it for another motherfucker. They would call it for Joe for another state. And it was like they just could not wait. So that was one of the things that I definitely noticed. Like when you talk about what the fuck they did and how they did it, I had never seen that before. Never seen them do that, what they did. I never saw that before. And even with the whole notion of them saying, well, you know, this is our candidate, this is who y'all wanted, that's fine. If that's who y'all like, I know CNN like the liberal agenda. I know that's what they own. I would expect that. I would expect the way that they talk to be for their candidate. But to intentionally not show numbers, to intentionally not call states just because they wanted to control the narrative and the optics of it, that was pretty fucked up. That was pretty fucked up. My other thing was as far as the voter fraud. And let me tell y'all something about voter fraud. Voter fraud has something that's been going on since the inception of this motherfucker. Since the inception of the Electoral College, the inception of motherfuckers being able to go to the polls and all that shit has always gone on. It's always been a thing. It's always been amongst us. The magnitude in which they did that, it was like, to me, it was insulting. It was insulting. The reason why I say that is, you know, people can talk about, well, you need to be able to prove this, you need to be able to prove that. Here's my thing. I'm not stupid, number one. And I wasn't born today, nor yesterday. I've been here for 46 years. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. You can't tell me in no fucking election that all of a sudden, overnight, a motherfucker goes from worst to first in only the motherfucking swing states. That's all I'm saying. There is nothing that you can do to tell me that, hey, this motherfucker gained 100,000, 120,000, 70,000 votes overnight. The other thing about that too is the fact that these votes came in just ballots for the fucking Democratic Party, just ballots for Biden. Let me call it what it is. How the fuck does somebody get 100,000 ballots that are mail-in ballots and they're all for just the president? They weren't like straight Democrat. They weren't like this person, that person, this person, that person. All of them for this one candidate and only for the president. We got 90,000 votes in and they're all for Biden. Well, who else? They were just presidential votes. Like the motherfuckers who voted, these 99,000 motherfuckers that voted only voted for the president, and they were all mail-in, and all of them were for Biden. I'm not stupid. And for those of you who are, and like I said, who are on this side, who are on your candidate one, I get it. but you will not make me not acknowledge the fact of what it is that happened and expect me to be like, that's just what it is. The other part to that is Biden wish he was that cold. You look at his rallies, 30 motherfuckers, 40 motherfuckers. Even with the COVID, motherfuckers in cars, maybe at best 100 people. He was in his basement for the last 4-5 months, easy. No campaigning, no hitting the streets. So how did all these people come about getting to the polls? They didn't. They didn't. He's not even that polarizing. Even as, like I said, Barack Obama, I probably would have said, yeah, he cold enough for that dog. Barack, he can bring him in. Not this dude. Do y'all realize that this dude had a bigger fucking turnout than Obama? Obama was the fucking man as far as ain't never been this many Democrats that voted when Obama ran. Never. Ever. How the fuck does Joe Biden beat him? Was he just that dynamic of a speaker? No. The motherfucker mumbled half of the time and he didn't even know where the fuck he was most of the time. So I'm not gonna believe the nonsense of what people may want to tell me. I'm just looking at the facts of what I'm seeing. I'm literally taking what it is that I'm seeing and I'm saying, yeah, I'm not buying that. Had they not had such a drastic fucking jump in the numbers, I probably would have just believed it. I probably would have been like, shit, that's what it is. But the fact that I know, and here's why they had to put such big numbers in, is because of what Trump did. Trump was out there in them streets. And everybody that's been in America for at least 25 years, you all know one thing. The election always has been and always will be a popularity contest. Facts. There has never, ever been a presidential candidate that has won the presidency in the last 30, 40 years that wasn't the popular candidate. So now you have to ask yourself this: when you talk about who was more popular than George Bush, I'm sorry, who was more popular than Barack Obama and who ran against Obama? John McCain. Who was the most popular? Obama was. Who was the most popular between Barack Obama and what was the other dude? Mitt Romney. Who was the most popular? Barack Obama. Take it back again. Who was the most popular between George Bush and what's the other dude he ran against? John Kerry. George Bush. Who was the most popular between Bush and who was the other dude? Al Gore. I was about to say Frank Gore again. Who was the most popular? Al Gore. I'm telling you, somebody stop me. Al Gore was more popular than him. That's why that motherfucker won. And it took what? The shell game, the overlay for the underlay to get him in. Go back before him. Who was more popular? Bill Clinton? Who ran against Bill Clinton? I can't even remember. Was it Bob Dole? Was it Bob Dole that ran against Bill Clinton? I can't think. Was it Bob Dole? Ross Perot? Bob Dole, Bush Perot, I can't remember. I don't know. But whoever ran against Clinton, it was Dole, okay. Then before Bob Dole, who ran against Clinton then? That was who? Wasn't that George W? Was that GW Sr.? If I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right, I'm on it. I'm telling you, just go back and look at the popularity contest, dude, and you will see that's what it's always been. I'm just telling you the truth. The motherfucker who wins is the motherfucker who's most popular. I.e., Donald Trump. He was the most popular. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So I'm just telling you, when I look at those things, like, I know what's afoot. I know when the fix is in. I know how it is when you got your thumb on the scale or whatever you want to call it. That's just what it was. Now, you have all of these people that are calling in talking about they couldn't get this, they couldn't get inside the polling place, they couldn't do that at the polling place, they weren't allowed this, the whole Sharpie shit, what they want to call that now, Sharpie Gate, I don't know. But there's so many different variables, and my biggest point to that is too, and then I'll pretty much be, for the most part, finished. This whole thing of people having this mail-in ballot, and this is something I said back in 2000. Back in 2000, when the whole shit went down with Gordon Bush, that was the clear indicator. And even when the shit went down with fucking JFK, that motherfucker cheated. JFK fucking cheated. Say what you want to say. The mob put the fix in, and it was what it was. But the thing is this, when you see a problem like this, there have been the voting system, period, for our country has been fucked up. It has been. It has been fucked up for generations. Now, maybe back in the 1900s, the shit worked. I don't know. But I'm telling you, with the advancements that we have as far as technology is concerned, what we have been able to do as far as just communication, social media, all of that shit, there is no way that we should still be doing mail-in voting. Here's what I say, because people always say, well, you got people that are sick and shut in and can't get to the motherfucker. If you can get to dialysis, you can get to the poll. If you can get to Walmart, you can get to the poll. If your ass cannot, you don't need to vote. If you cannot vote in person, one of the things I've always said this about voting is that major elections should always be held in the best time as far as weather permits in a year. We should be voting. Wouldn't it make sense for us to vote around maybe Independence Day? Wouldn't it make sense for us to vote maybe in June when the weather is permissible pretty much across the country? But you know what? The government is on bullshit, and they don't want everybody to come out and vote. They don't want to hear from everybody. They just don't. They just don't. So my thing is this. That's one of the things that I've always said about voting. Now hold on for a second. Let me go ahead and let's do this. I tell you what. This motherfucker said approvals, ratings. Okay. Annie Rosenberg, I sure hope that your ass clicks this link, because I'm about to post it up now. But the voting time of the year should definitely be where it's conducive for everybody. If you want everybody to vote and you want to hear from everybody, why not make the election time in June? Just saying. Now, as far as the time to vote, you should have 30 days to vote for the president. So that means you got 30 days to get your ass to the poll. Whether you need your grandson to drop you off, you need your uncle to take you, you need your cousin to come pick you up, you got some folks that got to drive down to Mississippi to drive you to the poll, whatever the case may be, you should have to come vote in person. You need a driver's license, a state ID, or passport. If you ain't got one of them, your ass can't vote. That's simple. It's just that simple. You need to be able to have a means to get to the poll to vote in person. If you can't get to the poll in 30 days, you don't need to vote. Just saying. This whole mail-in shit, it does not work. The thing about it is, it opens the door because there's too much room for failure, for fault. That's just it. That's just the whole thing with it. So why would you want to have something like that? The reason why you want to have some shit like that in place is so you can manipulate the motherfucker. That's it. That's all. Whether it's for your candidate or if it's not. The fact that you should be able to acknowledge that fact that a mail-in voting thing, you don't know who the fuck is voting when you got people mailing in ballots. You don't know who's voting. Just like in some states, they mailed out ballots to every candidate. That's asinine. I mean, to every registered voter, not to every candidate. They mailed ballots to every single candidate. I mean, registered voter. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? If you really want to say, well, I want people to come and I want to hear from everybody, okay, great. But mailing ballots out to every registered voter? What if somebody died? What if somebody didn't? What if somebody moved? What if I moved from one state to another? Now I just got a ballot sitting somewhere? And then what if you don't? How do you know if somebody's living or dead? How do you know who's filling out the ballot? What if I'm at the house with my 92-year-old grandmama and she's senile, bedridden, can't vote, ain't even here all the way, and then I say, well, I'm just going to vote for you too, Granny, the way I want you to vote. That's the point. So it's like when you're talking about saying, let's be accurate, let's do this the right way, let's go ahead and let's make it to where we can all motherfucker hear each other's voices and the nation can speak. It is what it is. If I'm not going to have it to where it's conducive to where I'm getting the most honest and accurate reading of the people, I'm bullshitting. I'm playing dope fiend games. I'm playing the game. The overlay for the underlay is in. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So all I'm saying to you is that there has been plenty of opportunity for us to improve the way that we vote. And I'm saying this. The reason why it's not being addressed and it hasn't been addressed is because they want it to be fucked up so that you can have shit like this. You can have bullshit ass, oh, well, they did this or they did that. They did this, they did that. Yup. That's exactly what it is. The fix is in because they want the fix to be in. Just saying. Now, as far as people are also talk about the whole thing, as far as saying, well, what do we do about the Electoral College and all that shit? If you really wanted to keep the Electoral College the way that it is, you have to really have an accurate count of the people. That's where they are to say, hey, it's this many people here. That's why they got this many votes. It's this many people here. That's why they got this many votes. When was the last time the votes for the Electoral College even changed? Just saying, just think about that. When was the last time that shit was even changed to where it could be addressed to where somebody could actually say, oh yeah, we need to adjust this and we need to put this. Well, you know, California got 55 votes, but shit, half the motherfuckers from there done moved to motherfucking Texas. Oh. With all of the people that have moved to Texas, with all of the people that have moved to Arizona, wouldn't you think that those people would be, those places would be the ones who would have some type of change with their Electoral College numbers? Just saying. But who's going to adjust that? Who is going to adjust that? That's one of the biggest things that I'm talking about as far as when you saying you want to change stuff, when you want to do stuff, when you want to make it right and make it fair, you would be looking at those things being adjusted and being addressed proactively. But when you want the system to be broken, which happens in a lot of areas in our government, they want it to be broken. They want it to be broken because it keeps their agenda in play. It keeps their agenda in play. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give like, oh yeah. And here's Ann Rosenberg. So perfect. First up, let's go ahead and let's do this. I am going to go ahead and open this up. Oh, but wait, before we do that, I'm still, even though I ain't playing no video, I still want to listen to my favorite part of the show. Damn right.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Alrighty. All right, cool. Let me just move this over, and then I will get in our person. I think I got that. Hang on 1 second. I think I should be good. Ann, are you there? Can you hear me? Ann, are you there?
Yo, you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
You hear me, man? All right,
Yes,
yo,
you are
I've
on
been
the
talking.
air.
I've been talking mad shit in the chat. I've been talking mad shit. So, but I'm gonna come at you respectfully. Do you have any understanding of how electoral votes are sort of like calculated?
How the No, educate me. Go ahead. I'll play.
So, electoral votes is basically every single state, 50 states, have 2 senators apiece. Okay. And every single time you get a member of the House of Representatives in a single state, it's based on a calculation of the population. So you asked when the Electoral College vote system changed. The system itself didn't change, but the last election, Texas got 2 less votes because the state of Texas became bigger. So that's the answer to your question.
So you're saying if a state becomes bigger, they lose electoral college votes?
No. I'm saying that in 2020, the state of Texas became bigger than it was 4 years ago. So it gained 2 electoral college votes, or maybe like one in, I think it became 38 in 2016. It was 36, something like that. This shit happens all the time. People leave states for whatever reason.
Okay, wait. I just want to make sure I'm following you. So are you saying that Texas gained electoral college votes?
Well, yeah, because you got to think about like demographic change.
Okay.
So like more people are like coming in from the border.
Right.
More people are like immigrating to Texas, whether it be Texas, New Mexico. I mean, more people are coming into this country in general. But
Okay.
there is going to be demographic change, whether they're coming from the north to the south. It's just entirely dependent on a bunch of like socioeconomic or geographical issues. So you just got to understand that, like,
okay,
I've been talking shit in the chat.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. So let me ask this question. Then with the people that they've shown documented evidence of mass exodus from California and from New York, are you saying that their electoral college votes that they have, that's going to go down then, correct?
So, okay, hold on. So you're saying they've shown documented evidence of
they've
people
talked about
en masse.
They've talked about literally hundreds of thousands and millions of people that have left both of those states over the past year or two.
Great. So do you live in either of those states?
I live in Texas.
Oh, well, there you go. You know, Texas. I live in California.
Okay.
This is a huge attraction to a lot of people. So demographic change from a 1 to 2 year period, and there is documented change in that there are people leaving the state. But however, it doesn't matter if Joe Rogan leaves the state and goes to Texas. It's a huge talking point. It's a symbolic leave. And it's not that it means nothing. A lot of people leave this state, but for however many Joe Rogans there are countless people that are coming in either from the southwestern border or from anywhere else. Because guess what? I have family all over the place. I know people internationally. California is a huge attraction. It's the 5th biggest economy in the world. So, and it's great weather. There's always going to be this fluctuation of people leaving and people coming in, but generally California is a really big attraction. Same thing goes for New York, not really on the weather scale, but it's a huge economy. New York City is probably the best city or the most famous city on planet Earth. So
what does fame have to? Well, all I'm saying is this, and here's what I'm questioning. I don't believe that the count of people that are in those areas are, when you're talking about New York and California, I don't believe that the account of the amount of people that have historically been there to where their electoral college votes are warranted. I don't believe that that's true because, let me finish. Because of the growth that has been in just the South alone. There have been more people that have migrated from the North to the South than vice versa. And even though you may have some illegals coming over, illegals moving into a state, unless they become actual citizens, would not warrant an increase in electoral college votes because they're not registered. Those people are not. So if I got 1,000 people here and 800 of them are illegal aliens, that wouldn't have anything to do with an electoral college increasing my votes. Why would that happen if it's illegals that are there? So the ones that are coming into Texas, the ones that are
For
coming into
sure, for
California,
sure.
or coming anywhere else. So all I'm saying is that with the mass exodus that has occurred from the north to the south, because of just economy, schools, and all type of opportunities for jobs, the growth in Texas and in Arizona alone, those are the two highest places in the country that have had growth. So I can't believe that those people that are moving to California because it's famous and because they like it, or they moving to New York because it's famous and they like it and the pizza's good. I don't believe that. So I'm just saying, if that's the justification of saying why their numbers are staying the same, I don't believe that, because there are too many people that are moving from those places.
Okay, first of all, I don't want to be a pedant, but I'll just say this just to say this. California is obviously not in the north. To some extent, New York is, but we are both operating out of the western part or the southern part of the United States. Second point is, there is documented change of people leaving, but it's mostly anecdotal. And it's what I said. I mean, I'm not some sort of like staunch Californian or something like that. I like where I live, but the data simply does not suggest that the demographic change that's happening is overwhelmingly people leaving the state. The data suggests, and even if it was, my guy, things are constantly changing. People adapt these scenarios because the House of Representatives is every 2 years we're adding people. People are leaving. Okay, Democrats lost seats in the House now. The people are changing these demographics every single year. There's tabulation processes every single year to make sure.
What I'm saying, right?
But that's not exactly what you're saying.
So why wouldn't those numbers be changing? Just like somebody just posted. Look, somebody just posted in the chat. They said currently Texas population is 29 million, and they have
there's
38
40
votes.
million people in California.
Wait, I'm just saying. Look,
California.
they said
cheap
the same.
labor
Just hang
ubiquitous.
on. In
ubiquitous
1992, California also had 29 million, and they had 54 votes.
No. We have 40 million now. That's 11 million more.
You just missed what I said. You didn't listen to what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
Currently, Texas has 29 million, and they had 38 Electoral College votes. In 1992, California also had 29 million, and they had 54 Electoral College votes.
All right, let's go.
That's all I'm saying. So just wait. I'm not disputing the whole thing about why they got this, why they got that. What I'm saying is just what this person Metalhead put in the chat and proved. They're not adjusting that frequently enough or correctly, one of the two, to where that it's actually being fair. That's all I was saying about the Electoral College.
The person can make a basic Google search and go through the demographics of each state and each specific time and come to the very obvious conclusion. And this is something that you get taught in a government 101 class. Okay, I'm not trying to
go ahead and just get to your point. You don't have to preface it. Just say what you're going to say.
The point is this: the tabulation methods for how electoral votes are distributed is a science that has been practiced for tens of hundreds of years. This is not some conspiracy. Okay, it does not matter. I don't know what this person is trying. The point they're trying to prove.
All he did was put up factual data. Why are you trying to make this? And this is one of the things that I talk about all the time. It's factual data. What is the difference between my 29 million people and your 29 million people?
So basically, usually the things switch.
No.
So
just answer that question. What is the difference between 29 million in my state and 29 million in your state?
You'll find it out in the next election. The tabulation methods are now, I bet it's 500,000 people for every single vote that you get, for every single representative that you get in the House of Representatives. So these things are constantly changing. Yeah, we got 31 million people in 1992. So what's the population of Texas right now? You said 29 million?
Yes.
You're just constantly going to be adding votes. I'm not entirely sure
I'm not saying adding votes. What I'm saying that if there are 29 million people here and there are 29 million people there, you would think they would have the same. However, if the numbers swayed one way or the other, somebody got to be losing votes somewhere, because it's not like everybody's keeping the same amount. That's all he was saying. They had 54 votes in 1992. They got 55 votes now. Texas has 38 now, and they got 29 million people just like they did back in 92. Where's Texas 54 or somewhere close to it? That's all
So
we're saying.
Real spit. I don't know the answer to that question, but
I know that's what I'm saying. That was my point that I was making about the Electoral College. Yes, there's a science to it, but that science is still coming down to a group or a few people saying, well, we're going to do it this way and do it that way just because of what it is and who they are. That's all what I was implying. Because if you were going factual by numbers, it would be adjusting every single year, and it's not.
So let's look up here. How are when citizens cast their ballots for the president? Yeah. So basically, I mean, I don't really know what. I don't know. Are you a big Trumper? I can't really.
What does that? What does that mean, and what does that have to do with what your statement is going to be?
Well, it depends on like what your solution to this problem is. So what you're complaining about is like a very small minority of people who are deciding the outcomes for 30 plus million people, which anyone with a brain could be concerned about. But what your solution to the problem is entirely dependent on who the fuck you support or what the fuck you support.
It doesn't. No, not for me. So whatever conclusions you've come to as far as what is what and what solutions are for who, I'm just being fair. That's all I'm doing. I'm being fair. So I'm not. It's not if I'm a Trumpster. It's not if I'm a Bidener. It's not if I'm an Obamaner. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the question that I posed. Saying that the Electoral College. Now let me finish. Electoral College, like I said in the beginning, just like I talked about mail-in ballots and all of that shit. The way that we vote in this country, with technology that we have in today's world, they are eons apart, and it needs to be addressed. And you can sit and talk about all of the different systems and all of the government 101 that you want to talk about, but the facts are true. There's too much room for error in our system. Plain and simple. Anybody that's trying not to acknowledge that, then they just want to buy into the whole dream that's being sold. That's it. That was my point.
So, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that literally our voting mechanisms are steel proof. There's obviously room for. I'm not even one of these people that's going to tell you that there's literally no evidence of fraud. The question right now is, how much can you prove? And how expansive is the fraud being that the Trump campaign is accusing the general public?
That's what did you not hear what I said earlier? The proof is in the pudding. The proof has been shown not here, but time and time again. The proof was shown when JFK ran. The proof was shown with Al Gore. The proof was shown then. It's not a thing of just saying, oh, well, now that Trump has lost, now I'm a Trumpster, that I'm going to now say that they're cheating. No, I said it's been going on for eons. That's it. And I'm not trying to say it needs to be steel clad, airtight. What I'm saying is that there is a huge opportunity for this country to make it to where there are not that many variables to where shit can happen. Nothing is 100% and nothing lasts forever. Nothing is saying, oh, this way it would be fool's proof. No, but narrowing down the variables to where something can go awry is what I'm saying and what I'm proposing. And mail-in ballots is one of those things. So ask the question, there's an answer, and that's why I said what I said.
But you obviously, so I'm not a little confused. So you actually think in 2000 that the Republicans stole it from Gore? I mean, like you mentioned JFK. Obviously, the mob did help JFK win in 1960, but it was going on even after that. LBJ cheated. He spied on the campaign of Goldwater. Okay. Nixon spied on the campaign of McGovern. This shit happens all the time. Yeah, but
how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 23.
Okay, so when in 2000. You were how old?
Baby. I mean, I've looked this shit up and I've done my research.
So in case you don't know, let me go ahead and explain to you what happened.
No, I do. I know about dimpled chads. I understand.
No. I'm not even getting into all of the. I'm not getting into all of the details. I'm just telling you like this. There's a discrepancy about all of the votes being tabulated in Florida, and there was a discrepancy with the type of machines that were used in Florida.
Yeah, I know
it was being ran. Hold on, let me finish. Stop. That's the problem. Just stop. Let me finish, then you talk. The problem was this. The governor was the president's brother.
Jeb Bush.
And exactly. And there were at least over 20,000 votes that were not counted because they were mail-ins from soldiers overseas and other people that mailed in their ballots. They were just totally said, nah, we're not going to count them. We think he got enough. Florida is his. I'm not going to get into any type of the minutia of saying, oh, well, maybe Jeb Bush and his cohorts could have gotten ballots thrown out. They could have kept Democrats from voting. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just telling you that there were votes that were not counted. There were issues with the actual ballots. And you're talking about a state that's being ran by the person who's running, brother. You
Obvious
tell me if that's enough evidence to at least give a side eye to what went on in Florida.
I think the majority of the country, actually, I shouldn't say that, but because the case went down to the Supreme Court and they made the decision that literally doesn't have precedent, which is unprecedented and doesn't make any sense. But and I don't know about your 20,000 votes from overseas figure. I'll just take your word. I knew that there were a list of people that were incarcerated, disproportionately black, that were taken off of voter rolls.
You going a long way around a yes or no.
I'm with you.
Like, yes or no, was that something to even, I'm not saying that they did. I'm just saying, was it at least something to have a side eye to?
For sure.
That's all I was saying as far as proving my point of it being something that has happened over time. It has happened before. This ain't the first time. So it's not about me being a Trumpster. It's not about me being anybody else. It's about looking at the facts of what's happened in our country.
I'll act with you in good faith and I'll take you at your word. Okay, great. What I'm saying is that the difference of votes that were being tabulated, that I'm not really sure if you are aware of, Roger Stone leading this sort of revolt into a voting tabulation center and basically physically overriding the officials where the recount was stopped. There's a whole history to this sort of thing that's kind of playing itself 20 years down the line to a lesser degree, but symbolically it looks a lot similar in Maricopa County right now. But there are numerous states right now. And yes, I agree that a lot of the articles I'm reading about this are sort of conveniently leaving out the fact that we are dealing with a much larger scale of mail-in ballots than have ever been voted on or tabulated or counted or whatever the fuck. It's just this has never happened before in the history of the country because there's a fucking pandemic and people have the technology to maneuver that stuff now. But even with that, I think in 2008, there were 9 swing states. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. And I think 18% of the people in those swing states voted by mail. You're looking at about a 50% increase. And over a 12-year period, the most ballots that have ever been changed, I think it's 667 in the North Carolina judicial race in 2010.
Can we get the shortened version of the point that you're making?
The point is this, man. You are going to need so many things to break. Not you. Donald Trump and his legal challenges, which as of right now aren't really. They have individual instances of people making fucking mistakes or whatever, but. And some of those are bullshit, but you are going to need so many things to break right if you're Donald Trump for this thing to have clear-cut evidence in the courts and say there are. I'm not really sure because I've tuned in halfway here, but you're going to need a lot of things to break right for you, and it's not looking like that's going to happen. And it's not looking like that's going to happen because there's some full-scale conspiracy. It's looking like that's not going to happen because tens of thousands of votes aren't going to get overturned because tens of thousands of votes weren't cast illegally.
Well, no, you're right. It wasn't tens of thousands. It was hundreds of thousands that are questionable.
Okay.
That's the point.
Where is the evidence?
Hold on, wait. My thing is this. It's not necessarily even about this election. If you can look and see and be okay with these numbers being manipulated the way that they are, and you can come up with some grand idea as to why that is, and it's okay with you, then there's a problem with America, period. Because what that's saying is that we're okay with anybody fucking with the system. So if somebody gets up, goes out, and casts their ballot, and that ballot isn't accurately counted for whatever reason, I don't care if it's a Sharpie or if it's a son of a bitch leading a militia into a goddamn polling place, denying people the right to vote. Whatever it is, we should all have a problem when there's something grossly being stated to see that, wait a minute, this guy the most voting turnout ever, and everybody's okay with that, that's a Democrat, that's a problem. Because if they do it this way, what happens when the next time the election comes up? It's just going to be this same group deciding who the fuck they're going to vote for and who's going to be president. Fuck our votes. That's what I'm telling you. That's the point I'm getting to. So all of the things that Donald Trump may have to do, all of the stuff that may have to go on, I get it. Whatever happened is going to happen. The fact that you have something this blatantly come out and show you, and for people to want to believe that Joe Biden is just this charismatic and just electrifying person to where he commanded this type of turnout, then I'm going to just call it what it is, call you what it is. You're a dumbass if you're okay with it.
No, and I don't believe that. But can I respond to, like, you said a bunch of stuff there, and I've said a bunch of stuff too. I'm not trying to condescend you or whatever, like, but I'm just trying to, like, so the first kind of claim you made was that it wasn't tens of thousands of votes that were being sort of like that we should be looking at with extreme suspicion. It was hundreds of thousands of votes. So you currently, and the Trump campaign, because it seems like that's the position that you're aligning yourself with, not that you support Trump or support Biden or support anyone that's not them.
I like Donald Trump.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We can argue about that on the merits later. But basically, there is zero evidence to support the claim that there are hundreds of thousands of votes right now that should be illegal.
True. That's not true. You had it. Look, stop.
Individual instances.
Stop. And you said something that was not true. There were 99,000 votes that came in overnight for Joe Biden in Michigan for straight Joe Biden. How the fuck does that happen? How do you get 99,000 votes that are all for one candidate that comes into a state overnight?
What you just said was garbage. That's actually provably inaccurate. First of all, the reason why these votes, and I think you're confusing Michigan for Pennsylvania, but I'll take you at your word.
Okay, whichever one. All right, that's fine. Whichever one.
The reason, because it matters. It matters, dude. It matters. Basically, what happened was weeks before the election, Republicans tried to sue and got mail-in ballots to be able to be counted not until Election Day was over. They could not start tabulating the votes. I understand.
That was in Pennsylvania. I get that.
No, that was in Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah, understandably. Okay.
He jumped up 120,000 votes in Michigan. I know that.
Because it doesn't matter. He is up 160,000 votes in Michigan. Okay. I've been to Michigan 1,000 times. This does not matter. Okay.
What do you mean that does not matter? I'm talking about the fact that there's a potential.
There is no evidence.
Okay, so my point would be this. How come that hasn't happened before?
99%. I'm telling you, you're spewing bullshit right now, and your audience should understand that.
No, I'm not. You're just refusing to look at something that has never happened before and just saying, oh, well, that's just the way that it goes. That doesn't matter.
Because what you're saying is not true. 99% of ballots taken out after that election day, when we were all in our sleep or whatever, that's inaccurate. And the reasons for it happening in Pennsylvania are deliberately because the Republicans sued to get that's you can lie right now or feign ignorance or whatever, but you're wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
Overnight, they had counted over 100.
You say overnight to scare people. You don't understand. People are counting 24 hours a day.
That's not true or they don't matter. Fuck that.
They do.
When it came in the next morning, the dude went up over 100,000 fucking votes. They were all for him. I don't give a fuck what nobody else says. I saw it. I saw the motherfucker who said it time and time again as he tapped on the motherfucking Michigan and said, yes, now he's in the lead. We went to sleep. Fucking Trump was in the lead. We woke the fuck up. This dude had over 100,000 fucking votes. Fuck what you talking about. I know what I saw. Now, you're not going to tell me, oh, no, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can say that shit all you want. I know what the fuck I saw. If he was up before we went to bed, and the next morning, this guy was up, that means somebody had to fucking count over 100,000 votes at night.
So unfortunately for your accusation, there are
That's not an accusation.
People,
then that means CNN was lying too.
It's a ridiculous accusation.
So are you saying that CNN was wrong?
False.
You're saying CNN was wrong?
No, I'm saying Fox News was wrong.
I didn't watch fucking Fox News. I watched
CNN.
I watched CNN. I wasn't fucking with Fox.
I was fucking with Fox. That's supposed to be your guys' puppet propaganda
network. That ain't no your guys', and that's not, like I said, that's not even fucking important. I watch fucking CNN, so now what?
So unfortunately for you, John King, Steve Kornacki, the dude on Fox News.
No. Fuck that.
You know,
I
you're
asked a
accusing.
simple fucking question about how somebody came in at night and went up over 100,000 fucking votes, and that's what was said on CNN.
So-
and I
so,
want
okay.
you to address that. Talk about some other shit, and we can move the fuck on.
Okay. So your accusation is two things. You're making two separate accusations.
I'm
now.
not
The first
making an accusation. I'm going by the facts of what happened. Why the fuck are you trying to make it seem like it's accusations when I'm showing you exactly what the fuck happened?
Okay, sorry, your claims. You claimed that
It's not a claim. It's what happened. What the fuck is so hard about that?
Bro, 99% of the votes that were tabulated after election night, or what? I don't know when you want to. I don't know when you want to break that off. But your claim that 99% of the votes in Michigan that were tabulated after 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern time on election night were for Joe Biden is a crock of shit, and your supporters and audience should go and do the research for themselves. Be free thinkers, if you will, okay? Second of all, the claim that, or whatever, you don't want to talk about Pennsylvania. But the reason why people didn't start tabulating votes in the blue wall states, the Midwestern states, was because there was a number of lawsuits that were successful for the Republicans that basically said that you could not start tabulating mail-in ballots, which were overwhelmingly Democrats, because people who are Democrats in this country think that COVID is some threat, and the Republicans don't want to deal with it or whatever the fuck. It's very partisan on those lines. They didn't cast. What?
You still won't answer it.
What is the thing I'm not answering?
You're trying to the point that you're trying to make and what you're trying to insinuate, being condescending or not. I just gave you a fucking fact of what happened.
Reason, okay.
And you didn't
give me a fact. You can lie to your friends. You can lie to your friends. You can lie to your 250
Now you let me
people.
talk. That's what a fucking conversation is.
We're not having a conversation.
Stop.
You're openly lying here.
And I'm gonna give you one last chance to answer the fucking question that I've asked 3 times. The reason why mail-in ballot. Dude, I'm answering the question. Stop now. Is that what you're doing? You're just gonna fucking keep just going off into these fucking rants and fucking tangents and not letting me speak now on my own fucking show? Is that what you're gonna do?
It's an answer to your question. It's an answer to your
question. Is
question.
that what you're gonna do? Okay, tell me what my question is then. Because you ain't answered the motherfucker 3 times. So tell me what my question is.
I think your question.
Stop right there. I don't want you to fucking think about my question. I want to ask my question for the 4th time and see if you fucking answer it. The question was this. If the candidate was up in fucking Michigan, I don't give a fuck about no other state right now. He was up and in Michigan. And overnight, there were over damn near 100,000 fucking ballots that got counted. By the time we all woke up as Americans the next day, to the tune to where the whole entire fucking state flipped. And all of those mail-in ballots that were counted were for this particular candidate. How in the fuck does that happen when it's never happened before and nobody says that that's even something suspicious? That's all I'm fucking saying. Can you answer that?
I can answer the question, my guy. I can answer the question. You said it right. Nothing like this has ever happened before. We have never been in a pandemic. We had the technology to mail out every single, I guess we have been in 19 or whatever the fuck. But right now, mail-in ballots are being sent to a lot of people, or people are requesting them at a much higher rate than they ever were because they're afraid to go to polling stations. And the people that are much more likely to be afraid to go to polling stations are people that support Joe Biden, are people that think that COVID is this thing that could kill them or could kill their relative. So the reason why, not just in Michigan, but in Georgia, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in the home state of mine, and in the home state of yours, California and Texas.
See this shit? Am I being punked?
Bro, I'm answering the question. You're laughing.
All I asked was a simple question that's to say,
Democrats
what would
vote
be
by
fucking
mail
suspicious? And you're back to talking about Atlanta, fucking COVID, and everything else.
Democrats vote by mail more because they're scared of the virus. I don't know why this is controversial. It's not. You're a moron. Kick me off if you don't want to fucking legit argue facts.
My God.
Okay.
You don't want to fucking legit. Well, I tell you what. Since I'm
it doesn't even matter if he loses
Michigan,
which is up 160,000. No, you can shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Shut the fuck up now.
You're gonna call me a nerd?
Since I'm a fucking moron, let me be a fucking moron and live my fucking moronic life on my
feel
fucking
free.
moronic
Go
channel.
ahead. Don't do it at my expense.
Get the fuck off my channel and get the fuck out my StreamYards and let me be my fucking moron. Cause the last I checked, bitch, this is America and I could be what the fuck I want to be. And your fucking opinion of me don't make me who the fuck I am. So
that's
get
true.
the
You
fuck
can be a
out
retarded
and go
idiot,
fucking
and
do your own fucking
I
Ann
can think
Rosenberg
that you are,
thing
and you can
go
you
the
can
fuck on
not
somewhere.
feel any way about it.
Click the fuck off. Goodbye.
I think,
bitch. Now. Calling me a fucking nerd and sounded like fucking Steve Urkel. Get the fuck out of my face on the internet. Oh, man. Go ahead,
Yo,
Mr.
what's going
Corporate.
on, Brian, man?
What's happening,
Can
man?
you
Go
hear me?
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man. Go ahead.
Man, that motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. I'm in Detroit, Michigan, so the motherfucking votes went up overnight after they stopped, they say. It happened in Wisconsin, it happened in Minnesota, and it happened in Pennsylvania.
And I don't understand how the fuck and like I was saying, all I was bringing up was the fact that this shit happened and you're trying to skew it and say that it didn't. You're trying to tell me envy and everything else. As if I tell you, hey man, I woke up and I came to my front door and there was a bag with $100,000 in it. How did it get here? And all you got to tell me is, well, because of COVID and there are people who have been mail-in back. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Look at what I'm asking you about and speak to it. That's it. Because we can all go into the different details of, this could be, that could. There are 1,000 different variables. All I'm saying is, if some shit looks blatantly out of place, we should all be questioning it. That's it. If $100,000 showed up on my doorstep, I'm going to take it. And the last place I'm going is to the fucking police station or to a fucking bank to deposit it. Because I know that shit doesn't happen on the regular. It's an oddity. It's something that should not happen to anybody. Bags of money don't show up on doorsteps. So that's why I would not say, well, let me go talk to the police. Well, let me go to Chase Bank and see what's going on. I know what the fuck ever it is, something ain't right about this bag. Now, am I going to give it up? No. I'm going to probably hold on to it. And unless a cartel or somebody come knocking at my door, that's the only way I'm going to give it up. But I'm not just going to tell everybody, hey, guys, hey, neighbor, someone left a bag of money on my door. I'm going to shut the fuck up, pull that money inside, count that shit up, and I'm going to stash the shit somewhere and see what happens. I'm going to lay low for at least 3 to 6 months. If don't nobody come, hey, my friend, I left a bag of money for you. Oh, no, I left a bag of money on your doorstep. Do you seen it? I'm going to be like, yes, sir, Mr. Cartel, sir. Here you go. I was holding it for you. No need to explain anything. I was just holding it for you. I thought you were one of the neighbors, and that's why I kept it. That's it. This motherfucker's trying to really justify and explain to me the fact that 100,000 votes come in overnight, all for one candidate, and just say, well, that's normal. That's what happened because of COVID. Man, please. I'm sorry. Go
Nope.
ahead.
If it's all fucking for biting, that shit is strange because remember they stopped voting around 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. They said it was gonna pick up around 6 a.m. in the morning. So why would you stop voting in the middle of the night during the COVID crisis to continue the next day? That don't make no sense to me. That sounds like this shit is set up.
And
because
we don't and the country don't do that. And
nope.
I can't tell you how many times the elections got motherfucking called at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You go to bed and wake up. Yep, they've counted everything. Everything is in. Here you go. By the time the morning paper would run off back in the 90s and the 80s, you would already have it done because everything has been counted. This starting and stopping shit, this ballot showing up late at night shit. Come on, man. I'm not even going to get into all of the stories that I've heard because that's hearsay. People talking about people in Michigan saying that there was a dude riding around in a Ferrari with motherfucking some cars with him dropping off ballots. Who the fuck does that? I didn't see it, and I don't know if to be true 100%. So why would I even bring that shit up? That's why I didn't. All I talked about was the numbers and what we saw and where shit was when we went to bed and where shit came to be once we woke up And the fact that all of these votes were for this guy, come on.
No Trump.
Come on.
No Trump.
Like none. It's like, I'm not going to buy that, dude. You can sell it to somebody else and they can buy it. I'm not. I'm going to call it what it is. That's some bullshit. It's some fuck shit going on. Somebody's putting their finger on the scale. Somebody's pulling some strings. It is what it is. I'm not trying to say, oh, well, this shit is just, it's a district. All I'm telling us is that we as Americans, we need to look at how we voting and how our system is set up, because it may not be your candidate that get the thumb on the scale next time. It may not be your guy or your girl that gets the favorable push next time. Because if it's some asshole next time that runs that you hate, and then the shit comes up, oh, this person had the largest voting turnout ever. He got 87 million votes on his own. Y'all gonna be saying the same shit then. Oh, this is horse shit. I can't believe they're doing this. But the guy who's saying it now is, oh, well, he's just saying that because he's a Trumpster. It was stupid.
Typical liberal talking points. They sound like bitches, man. They sound like manginas, man. They say the same thing. You must be a Trumpster. Why the fuck you got to be a Trumpster if you're trying to spit statistics? If the statistics say that Trump was 4 points or 10 points ahead of Biden, then overnight this motherfucker caught up to Trump and he surpassed him after they stopped voting. You're not thinking about that? And then all the media outlets saying the same shit. Even Fox, that used to be conservative, now they fucking liberal because Disney bought them with that fucking merger yesteryear. Nobody's questioning shit. They used to respect President Trump. Now they just call him Trump now, and they disrespect him in fucking interviews being sarcastic like the bitch that was on the line earlier before me. Nobody questioning that shit.
Exactly. I mean, it's like this. This is one of the reasons why I actually wore what I wore tonight, because I feel like Thanos has snapped his fingers for the first time when everybody was gone. Now it's like, I need Doctor Strange to go and sit down and do his thing and find out the right way that this shit can be righted. That's all it is. Because like I said, I'm more concerned about our democracy and the process than I am about the candidate. It's only 4 years. I'm not sure. I mean, if I can survive 8 years of Biden, Obama, I can survive 4 years of Trump. I can. And I ain't gonna even give him another 4 years, because that motherfucker gonna be dead by the time, or he gonna be fucking mentally unfit by the time this shit is over anyway. So it's like, and I know that, I know what I know. I know this motherfucker ain't gonna make it. It is what it is. It's fine. But it's like, I know what this looks like, and I see the writing on the wall. If they are the powers that be this blatant with this shit, then it's gonna get even more intentional next time. That's it. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. That's the point I'm coming from. For the record, that's all I'm saying. If I see that a motherfucker is cheating as blatantly as the fuck it is, and ain't nobody saying nothing, I'm more concerned about the fact that ain't nobody saying nothing than the fact that, oh, well, my guy didn't make it. He didn't get in, and now I got sour grapes. Nah, man. Nah, it's not that. Because at the end of the day, the thing is, when you look at the Senate, when you look at the Supreme Court, Congress, and all that shit, motherfucker, it's going to be hard to get some shit done. But that's not my point. Because the next presidential candidate, if it's Kanye West next year, and they cheat Kanye West, niggas should be mad. I know I would be.
Yep.
Just like how they bullshitted when the Democrats did that bullshit to what's the Jewish guy name? Bernie Sanders. They blatantly fucked him. Said, nah, yeah, you got the most votes. Yeah, everybody wants you to run, but we don't. We're putting up Hillary. And they did it in spite of what the people wanted that were Democrats. They did it in spite of what they actually saw from the numbers and what everybody tried to vote for. They did it because they wanted to. And that's their party. Now you're talking about that same type of mentality going along with our democracy. That's a problem. That's a fucking problem, because when we all get on the same page and we do want another Obama, or we do want another polarizing candidate that's going to bring it all together, and the powers that be said, nah, we're going to put our guy in here. Then it's going to be, man, what's going on, man? You see how they did him? They did it to him.
Motherfuckers don't vote. That's the problem. Motherfuckers don't vote. This is what happened. I did the population estimate. I counted up the people who voted for Biden and the people that voted for Trump. One was 70 million, one was 68 million. It came down to like maybe 100 and some million. Then I subtract that 100 million from the 300 million we got. Only 186 million people didn't vote. So this is what you get when you don't vote. So when I hear black bitches say, I'm not voting, it doesn't matter who gets in office, bitch, it does matter, because your punk ass gonna be complaining. And if you ain't voting, shut the fuck up. That shit makes me mad, because I went and dropped my shit off in hand, like selling rocks on the block. I went down to the motherfucking Department of Elections and sent my shit in with the envelope. Like, here you go, nigga. This is my absentee ballot, because I ain't want to deal with the whole it's crowded social distance bullshit. Right now, the only thing that gets me is that how does shit jump overnight when Trump was leading in Georgia, my state, Michigan, and in Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, where else? Pennsylvania. All of a sudden, it went to Joe Biden the next morning.
It was all of the swing states, and it's like and my thing was this. Like I said earlier, I said when you historically look back over the presidency, it's always been a popularity contest. When you talking about the most popular person winning, it's like fucking high school. That's what it is. So it's like, that's just another thing to show you, like, so are y'all telling me that in 4 years, America is now voting for the best candidate? And if he is the best candidate, then why in the fuck would it take this long to get this dude in? This is his third go round. It's just so many other things that you could just bring up. And like I said, the conspiracy theories, the details, and all of that shit, you could dig into that for the next 2 years, and you still wouldn't get to the bottom of it. All I'm doing is taking a overview of what I see and what's happened, and saying that shit don't add up. That's it.
It don't, because I looked at the fucking news myself. I'm in Michigan, so I'm in that battleground state. So I voted for the nigga. So exactly. He was leading, and why they didn't fucking count it as he won Michigan, he won Illinois, he won Pennsylvania. They kept holding that shit. And think about it, those are liberal states and liberal cities. We got Gretchen Homer, the fat bitch and governor of Michigan. Mm-hmm. She congratulating Trump. Biden early. I'm right, like, hold up, they ain't even decided yet.
And that was the spin of the media. That's why I said the media, and I it's bullshit. And it goes back to how I said there's just no more journalistic integrity. That shit is dead.
That's why I support you and Tommy. That's why I donate to you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's all in a fix. It's who we like and who's our guy or who's our girl. That's who we talking about. Fuck everybody else.
Not the policies, not the issues, not about what the, you know, it's not the democracy, nothing that.
Yeah,
that's the problem. And we gotta support people like you. That's why I said, man, I don't really want to fuck with YouTube no more. I don't even watch Marvel movies like that, no, because they owned by Disney. Disney's liberal. Now they own Fox. So okay, if Biden does get in office, who the fuck gonna be the next boogeyman?
Right.
The liberals gonna lose every credibility they have, because you got nothing else to talk about. If he gets in office, are y'all gonna criticize him like you did Trump? Are you gonna call him racist? Are you gonna attack him? I want to know. I want to see this shit. If Joe Biden gets in office, what the fuck are you guys gonna say now? Because remember, y'all have to criticize the shit out of Trump. Anything he couldn't do, it wasn't right. Missy can't get it right like in life and shit.
Yeah, I get it, man. Go ahead with your last point, man. I'm gonna try to get these other people in here so they can go ahead and say what they need to say.
Okay, my thing is, man, we have to stop fucking relying on media because they're liberal ran. I don't watch the news any fucking more. I don't trust them. I don't trust social media. We must support people like you and Tommy and others on fucking YouTube, and motherfuckers better start working together, because it's us against the fucking system. We must get wealth. We must get power. All this whole complaining shit. If you don't like the fucking system, get some power. Start fucking voting. Select alternative media like you. Like right now, I'm gonna be paying you niggas for subscriptions. I ain't gonna be watching no motherfucking Netflix. Fuck them. They can kiss my ass and suck my motherfucking dick.
For sure, man.
So
well, I appreciate that, man. That's what's up.
Yep.
This is my man Michelle Cobray. You have a good
Yep,
night,
peace.
brother. Thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for supporting.
Thanks.
I appreciate the super chat.
Take care.
I mean, the pay,
all right.
The cash out.
Yep,
right.
No problem.
Later, bro.
All right.
Now you know that I'm a Chicago Bear fan. You up here with the Green Bay Packers sign. And then you got the nerve to have your name is 1985. Go ahead. You are on the air. You got to unmute yourself. 85. 1985, you got to unmute yourself. Going once. Going twice. Take the mute off, please. We can't hear you. All right. You probably need to go out and come back in and make sure you do the microphone check before you do it. So, later. Oh, hold up. Sorry. All right. Copycat, go ahead. You are on there.
Hey, what up, Brian? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Now, I don't vote. I stopped voting after Obama because I'm still waiting for that hope and change. It hasn't happened yet, so I stopped voting anyway. Now, my question is, I thought we were supposed to be the people. That's what the Constitution says, right?
Yep.
So how's it that the Electoral College decide who gets in the office? I don't like that process. I mean, we're the only country that claim we the people, but we allowed some Electoral College, some people we never seen, never heard of, to decide who get in office. Pretty much they're saying we're not smart enough to decide ourselves, so they're gonna decide for us. Is that what that means? I think it's a stupid process. We should get rid of that freaking process. It's dumb.
Yeah, I guess my thing is this, and like I said before, I believe that there's plenty of room and opportunity for us to improve the election process. And all I'm saying is if we want it to be to where our votes matter, our votes count, and the people, or as Bain would say, the people are getting what it is that they want, why wouldn't we address some of those issues? Why wouldn't we be the ones addressing some of the things that's going on with that? That's all I'm saying. And that's the only thing that I want us as people to understand, to say, hey, we need to address this, because if there's this much controversy, if there's this much of a difference between just the sheer numbers, the fact that this is the highest voter turnout ever during COVID, you can't tell me that makes sense. You just can't. I would love to think that we as a people have just risen to a whole new level, but it's not true. It's just not true. And it's like, if we're gonna just go with whatever they say, regardless of who person it is or whose side you on, that's gonna come back and bite us in the ass as people. I'm telling you. All of the shit that's going on in our country and how we get things done, how we vote, how we create law, all of that shit, when it's not gonna benefit the masses and the majority of the people that's here, if we're not being heard and we're just being told, that's a problem for everybody. Not just the people who lost, not just to help the people that won. That's a problem for everybody. It's just like in baseball, when I was coaching Little League Baseball. It's like, we didn't want our kids to cheat. And when the kids would say, the umpire cheated, we would always stop that and squash it and say, no, you just got to play your game. You got to play harder, because every umpire, every parent, every pitch ain't going to be seen the same way that you see it. So the best thing to do is to hit the ball. You keep the ball in play, then the umpire and nobody else can take you out of the game. Now, were there times when we clearly saw umpires cheating, when we saw umpires being lazy, umpires not making the right calls, didn't know the rule book, was just coming up there to get the easy little $35? Yes. And you know what we did? We talked to the head umpire of all the umpires in the area and said, hey, man, we don't want that dude back. Don't send him no more. Well, what was going on? He don't know the rules, and he being lazy on the field, and he's not putting himself in position to make the calls correctly. But we didn't do that during the game. We did that afterwards. We did that when the head umpire would come by and check up on us. That's what we did. to make sure that, hey, we're controlling the things that we can control during the game. And then after the game is over, now let's address any other issues that we could potentially see, to where it ain't just saying, oh, well, my team lost, so I don't like this ump. That ain't what it is.
Right. So the majority of black men didn't vote for Joe Biden anyway. So how the hell did he win? And plus, you know what? Like I said, I didn't vote, so I'm not complaining. I don't really care anyway. I don't trust the system. I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see what happens. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any Democrat crying talking about, oh, Joe. This is like pretty much Obama third term. This is another Obama going in the White House.
And
So
my
that's
thing
pretty
is,
much what that is.
he's not even that polarizing to be even considered that, to put him in the same vein. I'm just saying. But that bird or whatever you got going on, them wheels is a turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. I don't know where you at or what you doing, but it is.
I'm at work.
You at work?
I'm on my headphone. That's why. Yeah, third shift.
Where you working? What do they call it? What the birds at? Is that a sanitarium?
Nah, I'm at UPS.
Oh, you at UPS?
Warehouse.
Well, get them damn boxes off
Yeah.
the belt, man, and get them in the truck, man. What the hell you doing talking to me?
I got you, baby. I got you.
Hey, man,
Yo,
thanks
what's your
for
cash
calling
app?
in, man. I appreciate it.
What's your cash app? This is my first time calling you, so I want to
My
donate to
Cash
you.
App
I
is in
only
the
watch you
description
and
box, and
Tommy and
it's
some
also
other.
in the chat. It's Cash
All right, I
Time for
got you.
Relationship Rehab. Go ahead and hit that, man.
All
I
right,
appreciate you.
I got you.
All
All right, have a good one.
Yep.
All right.
The Ugly Truth. You are on the air.
What is good, B? Long time no see.
How's it going?
Man, going bad with this fucking election, man.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts on
it? Man, okay, here's my part, that a couple of things that was messed up. One, Trump won Florida, but why y'all waited like all the way until the middle of the night to call Florida?
Great question. I mean, great question. It was, and like I said, even when you talk about saying, well, the person is, or this particular network is, they don't want to call it because they saying this ain't happening, or they don't want to call that because that's not their candidate. It should go to show you that, hey, what's actually happening as far as just the journalistic integrity and being fair. Why are we accepting that or anything less than that from any media outlet? If you see, if we clearly see what happened, and the fact that they wouldn't even call a state that you can clearly see any candidate, one, is winning, whatever the case may be, if they're not calling it, then why is that? It's all about the spin game. Because if I can show you and put into your head that this person's winning, even though the numbers say that they're not, when I just say that they won, maybe you'll just believe it a little bit easier.
But hell, another crazy thing is they called California when Florida was voting.
It's all, it goes back to my point. That's what I'm saying. When you want to talk about what is the integrity of just being a media outlet, the integrity, and that even goes into big tech and talking about these social media outlets. Why is it that certain groups can say whatever the hell they want to say, but if there's a particular group that you don't like, then there's a problem, and that person gets banned, or that person gets put in Facebook jail, or that person gets their post taken down, or they just all together flat out get booted? Why is that something that we are, I understand why it's happening, but why are we accepting that as a people? That's all I'm saying. For somebody, just like, you remember when everybody in the country was talking about gay marriage, and everybody
nobody liked
the
gay marriage
when the gay marriage thing was going on, and people were asking, "Man, do you think people, they should be able to do it?" And my position was this, and this has been my position. I don't think, and in my opinion, that there should be gay marriage, because of marriage is an institution created by Christ. It's God. It's a Christian institution. However, I do believe, being in America, goddammit, that anybody that is of the same sex, if they want to be together and spend their lives together and get the benefits of a married couple, they should be granted what I would call a civil union. And that's just basically saying because there are plenty of homosexual couples that get together and live 30 years together. Then when one or the other one dies, that person's kids or that person's ex-wife or somebody gets just total claim to everything that they've built together over 30 years just because this person is technically their heir because you're not acknowledging the gay person. That's bullshit.
That's fucked up
that
on so many
bullshit.
levels.
But that was my position. So I didn't agree with it 100%. I don't think that you should be able to walk into a church of God that He ordained and into God's church and perform a marriage ceremony that He specifically forbade and was against in the Word that you can clearly see. I don't think you should be able to do that, but I do think that you should be able to go to the courthouse. You should be able to go to vital records or wherever the fuck it is that you would go, and you should be able to say, look, me and Robert are going to spend the rest of our lives together, and I want Robert to be able to be on my insurance. I want Robert to have all my shit when I die, and Robert wants me to have all his shit when he die. And they sign a contract that basically states just that, and it joins them and their property and all their assets together. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair 100. You file your taxes, you claim Robert. Robert, y'all file as head of household, y'all figure all that shit out. Married but separate, married but together. I don't know how that shit work, but you should be able to do that. That's being fair. That's being the person that's saying, just because I don't agree with what you're doing, don't mean that you should not have the benefits of what I get by doing that very same thing.
Hell, like another thing I had a problem with the election, like it was like you were saying earlier, like, okay, first of all, it's like, how did all the swing states all of a sudden, okay, hey, Georgia got a pipe bust. Oh, Philadelphia, the workers went home. Wisconsin, the workers went home. Everybody went home. But y'all come back at 6 in the morning, not for an hour, not for 30, not for 2, 3. Y'all come back for 6 to 6:20, and for 3 mornings in a row, somehow Biden was gaining the lead, and the next morning Biden passed Trump up, and y'all called the state.
I get it, and all I'm saying is this: do I think that there is a possibility that Biden did get a bunch of votes, mail-in ballot? Yep. But I also think that it's something to be questioned to say, hey, all of them? Or he got thousands and thousands of votes that were just presidential votes? Like the people who mailed in these ballots didn't vote shit else on their ticket. They only voted president, and that was it. Not to say that don't happen, but how many thousands of people would do that? It just doesn't happen. It don't happen. Are there people that undervote? Yes. Certain judges you may not vote for. I get it. But if I'm going to vote for a president, I'm probably going to vote for a senator. I'm probably going to vote for a congressman. I'm going to do those because I know who those are. Them people have been to my church. They done put flyers on my doorsteps. They done had people knock on my door. They've already done that. That's what they do. Most of those House of Representatives cats, most of those senators, they come and ask you, can we put a sign in your yard? Will you vote for us? We want to make sure that you vote for us. Let us put a sign in your yard. Here, take this pamphlet. They do it. They got signs up everywhere. So the fact that I would go and vote, shout out to my man John Pierre, Ralph John Pierre, hit your boy with $20. That's what's up. If I'm going to have that and see all of these signs on my way to the poll, or I'm mailing in my ballot, it ain't like I'm just shut in my house and don't go nowhere. I got to go to the Piggly Wiggly every now and again. I got to go and get my my scratch offs at the store. I got to go out
to
so
Walmart.
I'm going to see these signs. So I would have some idea of who my sheriff would be. I would have some idea of who my senator would be. I'm going to have some idea to where I'm not going to be at home in the comforts of my home and just say, oh, I'm just going to vote for Biden and then I'm going to mail all this in. It don't add up. Not that many people.
But you gonna say all these people in all these states only voted for Biden?
That's all I'm saying, man. And my thing is this: it may be Biden this time, but next time it could be Jones. The time after that, it could be Williams. The time after that, it could be Smith. It could be anybody. If this is what it's gonna be, then what's gonna happen next time? That's all I'm telling you. And it's like, if we're not questioning this shit, if we're not questioning just blatant, man, come on now. Right, as much as y'all hated Trump, to all of the people that hated Trump, I get it. You don't like him for whatever reason. I don't care. For the fact that you hated him to the point to where you're willing to let somebody cheat the process, and then when the next time it come around, you get cheated again. What is that gonna say about the time after that, and the time after that, and the time after that? Do you realize that the only reason why Biden was in there, why he was even in this fucking race, why he was even allowed to do what he's doing now, is because they know they can control him. They know they got him right where they want him. He is a fucking puppet of puppets. He is the ultimate control guy. You can literally put your hand in his back and work his mouth to get him to say what you want him to say, turn whichever way you want him to turn, do whatever you want him to do. He's gonna do it. That's the point. He's not the best candidate. He's the best controllable candidate. That's why they didn't want fucking Trump to win. Because Trump did what the fuck he wanted to do because he wasn't beholden to anybody. That's why I made that video a while ago. My fault. I'm gonna say this and be done. That's why I made that video a while ago saying we need to start wanting and voting for candidates that are not politicians, because politicians, they are what's wrong with this country. You got motherfuckers that been in positions for 30, 40, 50 years, and they ain't nothing but paid whores. That's it.
Hell, they even said when he was giving his speech that, he is the most politician of politicians going into the White House. I'm like, why would y'all want that?
Exactly.
Y'all said, matter of fact, another thing. Y'all said Trump was holding all these rallies. It was all about coronavirus, but everybody got gathered at the White House to give him congratulations.
Yep. And that's like, and that's the thing. It's like, we're okay with the bullshit when the bullshit serves us. And I even understand that to a degree. But when the bullshit and the fuckery is fucking up the process, that's dangerous. Because I'm telling you, the old saying of it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun will fucking bite your ass in the, I'm talking about all up in your ass. And then you'll be trying to, well, wait. Well, no, it was all good a week ago. It was all good a term ago. But now, because what you're saying is, this what you better do if you want to be the president. And that's bad. Go ahead with your last point. I'm going to try to move on to get these other people in here.
Oh, well, I had 2 points I wanted to say, then that would be it for me. It's funny that, we all, like, it's funny that how everybody was saying, we worry about businesses closing because, like, they closed the whole country. Mm-hmm. But it's funny that Biden said, hey, once I get in office, I'm closing the country back down. And y'all saying like, that's a good idea, but y'all say y'all worry about these businesses be open, and y'all saying y'all losing local business anyway.
Yep. And my thing would be this, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next person. Thanks. My thing would be this: when you talk about closing down the country, when you talking about staying indoors, there is no way possible that shit is going to help anybody. The economy, people getting exposed. Do you realize we shut the country down and the cases still went up? We counting cases instead of counting fucking actual deaths. The percentages of the people who are getting sick and the people who are dying, they are eons apart from each other. There are not
Well,
a lot of people that are dying from this to the point to where we need to shut everything down. The other part of it is too, a virus never goes away. It's going to be here. So shutting down for what and for how long? It makes no sense. It's going to be waiting for you whenever you do decide to open up. That's it. So there's no point in doing it.
can I say one more? Well, can I ask you one more thing?
Go ahead.
Like it's kind of curious that like like every like they say like California, like Florida did its votes, California, Texas. So you're telling me out of them 3 states, nothing went wrong, but for everybody else, hey, we need 3 extra days. Hey, all these ballots just came in all of a something. But it's like y'all keep saying, why would y'all keep saying, well, it wasn't fraud, but when it came down to Trump and Russia, it was fraud.
Yes. And my thing would be this. The reason why is because they knew in those states, in most of the red states, they couldn't pull that bullshit. They couldn't do it there's no way they could throw or do what they did in Michigan and Wisconsin and in Arizona. There's no way they could have done that here in Texas. There's no way. Texas ain't standing for it. Texas ain't standing for it. There, Texas in Tarrant County alone, Tarrant County spent $11 million on a brand new voting system so that this type of fuck shit won't happen.
It's just sad that
not to say that everybody can do that or everybody should do that. I'm just saying that there is a way that you invest and you make things better as opposed to using this old school, old shit way and being cool with it because that's how we've always done it. Or is it because you cool with it because I can manipulate the fuck out of this system?
But it's just sad that the Democrats say, oh, Trump playing politician with people's lives when y'all literally doing the same damn thing.
It is what it's the, and that's my thing. It's like, if there is a problem, let's address it as opposed to just trying to be in a situation where you just trying to say, oh, well, the only reason why y'all doing this is because of that. Or the only reason why y'all doing this is because of that. And injustice, what is that thing Martin Luther King said? An injustice to one person's freedom is an injustice to freedom to everywhere. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to get people to understand. I know I probably ruined that quote and misquoting, but you get the idea.
I also, before I'm about to get off, but also, man, it's sad that like literally like when people like y'all actually speak up, it's fucked up on how people come back and say, oh y'all just hate, y'all just cool, oh just get over it, and it's just like, bro, like we just speaking our opinion. We have the First Amendment, and everybody's just shutting that down.
Right. I get it, man. Thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, B.
All righty, later. All righty, Gonza, go ahead, man.
Hello, how are you? Can you listen to me?
Yes, I can see you. It's hard. I can hear you. You need to maybe speak up just a little bit, but I can definitely see you and hear you.
Let me check it. Now?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello? Well, I want to add another point about the 100,000 votes. And I was listening to you very much. And what about the other candidates like Jorgensen and Howard Hawkins? Because most people, most Democrats, will think about the virus and don't go to vote. But this person, Jorgensen, has 1% in this place, I mean Georgia, and if you have 100,000 votes, you should have, at least 1,000 votes to show Jorgensen in the May ballot. What do you think about that?
It's really hard for me to hear you. Can you maybe turn your volume down on your mic or something? Because it's distorting and it's cutting in and out.
Hello? Hello? Now?
Okay, try it again.
My point is about the 100,000 votes.
Okay.
What about the other candidates? Not only Democrats and Republicans. I mean, 100,000 votes for only Joe Biden. I understand that the people for Joe Biden doesn't want to go to don't want to go to vote, but the other lady that was in Georgia, Joe Johersen, has 1% of the votes.
Okay.
What do you think about that? I mean, it's another point. It's another good point. At least 1,000 of the votes should be to Joe Johersen.
Right. So you're saying that with the votes that were made by this person in Georgia in particular, you're saying that this person had 1% of the votes. With the other additional votes that were counted, how come this person didn't get those other votes as well?
Exactly.
Right.
And another candidate. I mean, there's not the only one. There's another Howie Hopkins, Gloria La Riva, Rocky de la Fuente. I mean, you are only thinking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but you are committing a mistake because I mean, okay, the Trump supporters just go and vote, but maybe the other supporters want to vote by mail ballots. You got my point.
Right. So you're saying basically that the person who has voted, I mean, the other votes that were counted, how come that other person's vote didn't increase as well, even though Joe Biden's votes increased substantially? How come no one else's votes increased? Is that what you're at? That's what you're saying?
Yes, that's my
a great point.
It's,
I didn't even go as far as even to looking into the other candidates that were
exactly
actually in that election. But that would go to the point of it saying that there is something fishy, as to say, well, not necessarily all of these votes coming in for this one candidate. How come none of the other candidates got any extra or additional votes either, if this is such a huge turnout?
And look at the results. Look in Georgia, this candidate, Joe Jorgensen, has, I am checking right now in the decision desk, the 1.24% of the portion. I mean, in 100,000 should be at least 1,000 votes. Why people that support Joe Jorgensen doesn't want to use the mail ballots? Only Joe Biden? That's crazy. Yes.
Yes. I must admit that is something I did not think about, and I think that is a great
please
point.
Yes.
Great point.
Okay.
I mean, because and for those of you who couldn't understand, what he's saying is, with the increase or the influx of these mail-in ballots, with all of those ballots that went for Joe Biden, you mean to tell me nobody else got at least one of those mail-in ballots? I mean, 1% of those mail-in ballots, but the people who actually came to the polls actually voted for them? I can't buy that either. To say that all of these ballots that came in were just for this one candidate and that's it, nobody else got any other votes. Great point, man. I can't even dispute that or even argue that. I have to agree with it.
Well, and you should think about not only Donald Trump and Joe Biden. If you want to check the entire election, please check all and just look at the math of all the candidates, because maybe you can find another mistakes and you can use an argument, of course, to the Democrats. Let me be honest, I am not from United States.
Where are you
I am
from, sir?
From Uruguay.
Uruguay?
South America.
Oh, okay.
Near Argentina. I was looking your election. The world all the world is looking in your election. And when I saw the results, when I was watching, well, I think, well, if you Donald Trump wants to win, it's not more than 1%, 3 or 4. You need to win for a lot. You understand? But because in all countries, always there are mistakes or maybe some votes that are suspicious. But when all the media, and also my president started to congrats Joe Biden without the official announcement of the White House and without the official announcement of your country, I started to think about something is not good, and there's something in the news in my country that was not good because if you are a journalist, you just check to the embassy and you see if there's a new president, and then you go and congrats the president. And look at this, my president.
It's really hard. It's really hard to hear you. So go ahead and go at your last point, and then I'm gonna get some other people there. But go ahead.
Okay, my point is check out the presidents that congrats Joe Biden in the world, and is curious because Mexican presidents didn't do it and is waiting for the Supreme Court. Putin didn't do it. Also, didn't Bolsonaro didn't do it. I don't know about Jinping, but I am pretty sure that he didn't do it. So we are very concerned about this, and you should go ahead with this because it's more important to show that you are a strong democracy than who wins the elections. It's more important, and I think that if you turn I don't know how to say it. If you repeat elections, it's better because media should not control the result of the elections.
Right. I agree, man. And thank you for the call. I appreciate it, man. I wish we could hear you a little bit better, but thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna say this before I go to John from New York. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna say this. What he's saying is that, you know, I agree, but I disagree with that. When you're talking about saying the whole of democracy, well, it's about democracy. And when democracy is being tampered with, I think too many people died and too many people sacrificed for us to have this democracy in order for us to just kind of like shrug it along and just go with it for the sake of democracy, because that's not democracy. If it's a fair and square vote, and if everybody actually goes in and their vote is counted and it's on the up and up, fine, let's move on because the numbers speak for themselves and this is what it is. I get it. But when we can clearly see through history and through previous incidents and precedent to where we know when something's afoot or when something is awry, then I think it's absolutely our responsibility to make a stand and to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, this ain't happening. Y'all have gone too far. The jig is up. The bullshit has been called out. I think that's a problem with us as a society, is that we don't want to call out the bad. We just want everything to make us, we just want to talk about the things that make us feel good. And that's dangerous, because when you overindulge in your feelings, it's usually that very same indulgence that destroys you. If all we're concerned about is what makes us feel good, and we're not being responsible as to what's right and for what's happening to and how other people are being affected, then that's exactly what we need to be concerned about, because that's the very thing that will destroy us. That's all I'm saying. And I want to give a shout out to Snake You Bitch. Is that Snake You Bitch, I guess? She said, you helped me speak up and not be afraid of the outcome. proud to be in this country and have better opportunities than I would have had in Mexico. Mexican Trump supporter right here. She hit your boy on the super chat for $9.99. That's what's up. So I'm just saying that that's something that we all have to be concerned about. That's something that we all need to make sure that we're fighting for, because in other countries, it's the opposite. There is no there is no democracy. There is no, hey, we can say what we want to say and we can speak up. You either roll with this or get rolled over. Tell me where it's not like that at. Tell me any other place in America that's better than America when it comes to anybody having an opportunity to do anything. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, John from New York. Can
you hear me okay?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
All right, great. By the way, the quote from MLK you were looking for was "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Thank you.
Yeah, this whole thing to me has just been a complete debacle, embarrassment. And there's so many things that I want to talk about in regards to it. I just don't even know where to start. You got an area where you want to start?
If you could do this for me, just give me your idea as far as to, how this election went, and what do you think that there is a concern for anything as far as the election process that we have? Do you think there is any room for us to improve upon or to, adjust to make things better to where this is a much better process than what we have right now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, especially with the last 4.5 years, it's been Russia, Russia, Russia. Hillary Clinton's still crying that she says Russia interfere with her election. And now all of a sudden that Trump supporters and Trump are saying there might have been some fraud in this election. It's like, oh, no way, you're just a sore loser. So if everyone felt for the last 4.5 years that there was so much fraud, then we should have worked on it. And obviously, we all know why the Democrats didn't work on it. But what I would say is maybe we should get rid of all these computer systems, just hammer the scorecard, Dominion voting systems, and maybe go back to just paper ballots. Make sure you have 2 people from each side watching, video cameras live streaming 24/7. You can barely even go take a piss without getting off camera, and do it the old-fashioned way, because these computer systems, you can hack them so easily. So I think that the entire voting system should be revamped, and it shouldn't be high tech. It should be low tech.
Well, I mean, and I believe that there is an opportunity to meet like somewhere in the middle. And that was one of the reasons why I said I believe that it should take 30 days to vote. You should have plenty of time to come in and vote. And that time is from this set time until this set time. It's not, oh, well, as long as there's people in the lines, we going to keep. Nope. You show up in person, you make your vote is counted right then and there, and that's it. You see the numbers, you see what's going on, your vote gets counted right then and there. And I believe that there is a way to do that, even if you're doing it low tech or mixing the two, using high tech for reporting or low tech for reporting, whatever you want to do. I just believe that there is plenty of room for us to improve this process to where we can take a lot of these variables that will actually skew the numbers and give people opportunities to actually change the result.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to get the cheaters to agree with the people who don't cheat, and they're not going to do that because people are always going to look for a way to have some wiggle room. So I mean, that's going to be a difficult part. Is actually, I think we just came up with 2 ideas in the matter of 1 minute. So coming up with the ideas, I don't think will be difficult. I think getting people to actually say, let's put them in place, because then people will be like, oh shit, I can't cheat anymore. So I might actually have to put in the work and win. I might actually have to leave my basement and campaign and draw some crowds. So I think that's the difficult part, is getting these politicians on board and actually serving the people instead of serving themselves.
Yeah, and I think it's this. It's not about it, and here's one of the reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying in period. It's not about the politicians deciding to do this. It's about us deciding to do this. Because if the politicians tell us, oh, we don't think there's anything wrong with it. Okay, well, have a nice 4 years, because it'll be the last time we vote for you.
Yeah, I
That's how
agree
it
with
needs
you,
to
but
be. We need to
I
start
agree with
holding
you.
these politicians to task and holding them accountable. And when they don't do what we want them to do, then we say, hey, you out. It's that simple. That's the purpose of us having this process. You don't want to
I
do it?
totally,
Great.
I
Bye bye.
totally agree with you. I
Yep.
totally agree with you. And what I've thought of is, so a politician says, we're going to do this for you. You vote for him, he doesn't do it. The next politician comes along, says, that guy screwed up, I'm going to do it for you. Then that guy doesn't do it for you. So how do we, the people, actually take control? Do we say you have to implement it first, then we vote for you?
Great question. What you do is you have them where you come up with the system of what you would like to see addressed, because it won't happen overnight, but you have the key issues addressed up front, and you have them explain to you how they're going to get it done. Just like how I said, one of the first things that need to go is mail-in ballots. That's what you want to get rid of. First thing on the agenda with us changing this process, no more mail-ins. Do away with them. The post office can't keep up with them. Too many people can bootleg them. They can be fucking compromised. People are dropping them off. They can't keep up with them. Not just one, but there are precincts all over the fucking country that have issues or some type of bullshit going on with mail-in ballots. We as the people want to do away with them. Show the fuck up or your vote don't count. That's very easy. It's not a thing where, oh, we can't do that. It's just a thing to say, okay, this is how we're going to get it done. We're going to give people 30 days to vote now. You got to bring your ass into the damn precinct to vote. If you don't, your shit won't count. Well, what about my grandmama who don't have no legs and she's 97 years old? If you won't hoist your legless grandmama up on your shoulders and bring her to the car and bring her to a polling place, and you got 30 days to do it, then legless grandma don't need to vote. It's that simple. That's just it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Ain't no reason to argue. Ain't no reason to discuss it. We don't need to figure out a way, because when grandmama want to go somewhere, she gonna get there, or you gonna get her there. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
If legless
Yeah, you could
grandmama
even,
won lottery, you sure find a way to get her ass down to the lottery center to claim her check.
yeah, you could even make it where you have to be like really, really, really disabled in order to have a mail-in ballot. So therefore, it's a very tiny percentage
See,
of the
nope,
U.S.
you can't do
population.
that. Nope, you can't do that, because then what you're gonna have is you're gonna have people saying, "Well, who decides who's really sick and who's not?" And that's gonna be across the state. You can't do it. You either show up or you don't get it counted. I'm sorry, Uncle Ronnie, you can't make it this year. Hey man, you got 4 years to get well so you can vote next time. Because the thing is this: there are 325 million people in this country. And if only 100 million of them or 160 million of them are voting, then you got people who ain't voting no way. You have plenty of people who are not going to participate in the electoral process. So one person who can't do it because they're really sick, or one person who ain't going to do it because they don't give a shit, it's all the same. If it's important to you, you get there. And if that small 0.01 percentage of people who really want to be there but physically can't, I'm sorry, that's the luck of the draw. It's people that are homeless that ain't got no place to sleep, and it's people that are hungry that ain't got no food to eat. It happens. That's just it. It's one of those things in society that you can't cure 100%, but damn it, for the greater good, this is what we have to do. Because motherfuckers cheat so much, everybody got to vote in person. That's just it. Go ahead with your
Yeah.
last point.
I think if Trump doesn't end up getting these results overturned, I think at the very minimum, I think Trump has still done a lot while he was in office, as well as for the Republican Party in general. I think he's been changing it in terms of what they stand for, and more importantly, the demographics going forward. You got like 12% of the black vote, 18% of the male black vote, 8% of the female black vote. He picked up Latino men by 7 extra percent, 3% extra. The only group he lost was white men by 5 points, and he doubled his LBGT support. So I feel like going forward, alluding back to what you initially said about we the people demanding change, now that the Republican Party has more people on board, and Trump has helped a lot of different demographics break out of that nervous shell where I can't vote for a Republican because they're racist or they're for white people. I feel he's broken that shell, and now going forward, that friend who voted this election is gonna realize that Joe Biden probably ain't gonna do shit for anybody or harm people, and then that person's gonna talk to somebody next to them. Is like, look, I voted for Trump, nothing bad happened to me, and then that's gonna go from 12% black vote to 20% black vote, from 30% Hispanic to 40% Hispanic, and then before you know it, the country is too mixed up in terms of the demographics for the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, where they have to stop doing the racial identity politics and actually start delivering change for people.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's a great point. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the rest of these people in here. Let's see if I can go to White Passing Mexican. And before you speak, I'm going to say this. It's a thing to where we have to start giving a shit as people about what goes on in our country, as opposed to being the ones that just want to let shit happen as long as it ain't bothering us or messing with us or anything like that. Because it's like this. And even when people talking about, like now that Trump is out of office, what you gonna do now? And my thing is this: I'm gonna do what I've been doing. Number one, I'm smart. Number two, I know the law. Number three, I know what is and what isn't going to affect my day to day. The thing that I liked about Trump is that Trump was trying to literally make the entire country a better place. He was trying to improve America, because improving America is improving my quality of life and everyone else's. Taking a stand against the bullshit, against the bought and paid for politicians, that's a problem. And I know a bunch of other people don't think it is, because a bunch of other people like to be told what to do. A bunch of other people like to get free shit from the government. A bunch of other people like for things to just be, oh, well, it's all hunky-dory and we ain't got no responsibility because the government gonna take care of us. That slave mentality will keep you being just that very same thing, a slave. So I'm good with that. And I understand that people may not like Trump for whatever reason. You might not like him because of his hair. I don't give a damn. But all I'm saying is tell the truth and be able to speak to why you are for or against something, as opposed to just coming out and just saying some shit because somebody is poking and prodding you or whispering in your ear to say it. Because you've seen it on a Twitter feed long enough. Because you've seen it on Instagram long enough. So that's why you're saying it. Be better than that. Think for yourself. Go ahead, White Passing Mexican. You are on the air. You gotta uncheck the mute button. There you go.
All right.
There we go.
What you were saying earlier, like I 100% agree. I 100% agree what you were just like ranting on about, because it's like it's what my dad told me and what he firmly believes, because he's not even from America. He's actually an immigrant from Mexico, and he actually came here illegally, like at first, but then like during his early 20s, his father helped him arrange papers to actually become a citizen here. And he said that he's never taken anything for granted, that he's proud to be here, because he wouldn't have the same opportunities that he would have had when he was still in Mexico. Because he said that when he was in Mexico, but like,
wait, you
like,
went out. You said when he was in Mexico,
American
what?
morals or whatever.
Wait, you kind of went out. You said when he was in Mexico, what?
When he was in Mexico, he would have probably stayed like at his all-time low. And once he like transitioned from like staying in Mexico to like coming here, he like had like a new perspective on the way of, and he's viewed American morals, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Well, pushing yourself to get.
Go ahead.
Oh, like pushing yourself to do best for yourself and for your family. And he said that it's taught him that, and on me. And I feel like with Trump, I'm gonna admit I was a Trump hater at first, but I feel like it was because I didn't even know any better because I listened to what the media told me. But it wasn't until when my dad told me that he was a Trump supporter, I looked into, I dug further into why he supported him in the first place. It wasn't until then I like started seeing like the truth being like unveiled to me, and it started to make sense now.
And that in itself is what I want everybody to understand. Don't have to agree with it, but what you said about your dad coming from another country, he's not the only one. Everybody from all over the world want to come here. Anybody that's broke in another country, they want to come here because of the opportunity to improve themselves and the opportunity to improve their life for their family. Free market, capitalism, whatever you want to call it, the American way, the American dream, all of that is possible by keeping our democracy intact. When you let motherfuckers control what happens to us as a country, that's a problem when it ain't our will. That's a problem. And that's exactly what he understood and what he said. Even though I came here illegally, the fact that I was able to get here, I know that it's not necessarily going to be the best for me, but it's going to be better for me. And it's going to give my children an opportunity they would have never gotten back where I was. That's why people die trying to get here. That's why people will hop on fucking logs of wood and try to swim over here. That's why they will create man-made rafts out of fucking garbage cans to try to sail over here in the fucking ocean. That's why people die in the ocean. People die in the desert. There are people that die trying to get here every fucking day. Whether you know about it or not, it's happening. Somebody is whoring out their sons. Somebody is whoring out their children. Somebody is whoring out themselves. Somebody is killing, stealing, and doing whatever the fuck it takes and committing all types of heinous crimes just to get here. Because they know if I can make it on this soil, I have a better chance at a better life than what the fuck I'm living in my shithole country right now. When you go Africa, Asia, Egypt, Haiti, Dominican Republic, you can go Mexico, you can go down all of these other countries, India, any of them, they all want to get here. Is this the best country in the world? Yes. Do we always do the best things? No. Do we have our problems and our opportunities like every other fucking country in the world? Absolutely. But right now, right here, we the best ones doing it. We are the goats of fucking countries right here, right now. And if it wasn't true, you'd have people trying to leave. You'd have people running to other countries. And you don't, do you? When was the last time you heard of somebody picking up their talents and going to move to fucking Asia? When was the last time you heard somebody taking their talents to England? When was the last time you heard somebody going back to Africa to live amongst their people? For every one person that goes and lives in Africa, you got 10,000 trying to get over here. That's why it's so important for us to have things like border control. Because you can literally get overran just by letting any and everybody come over here. I'm sorry, go ahead. I went off into another rant.
It's okay. I was just saying that I agree because like I've gone to Mexico like quite a bit of times. Like every summer I would go, and even just like crossing the border alone is like already dangerous as it is. Because I've experienced it firsthand. My parents have experienced it firsthand. We would literally get pulled over. Like Like while you're still in Mexico and you're reaching near the border, you would have people that would try to pull you over and demand money out of you so that you can be allowed to pass, or they would threaten to kill you, whoever's in the car or whatever. And that's why I'm like, I support a stronger border control so we keep these kinds of people from trying to come into our country, because I've experienced it firsthand and it was a very terrifying experience, and it was like a waking call for me.
Wow. And that's the thing. And it's like the way, and we hear this person who says this, and then we'll go back and listen to what some politician or what somebody on the news will say. Yeah, you see how he called the people over in Mexico saying that they were rapists and they were gangbangers and thugs. Yes, there are plenty of criminals trying to get over here. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they? So the fact that somebody says that it's wrong? No, it's true. There are plenty of people, there are plenty of immigrants that have come over here, and there are plenty of illegal immigrants that have come over here that are criminals, and they do shit to law-abiding illegal immigrants, but those illegal immigrants can't call the police, can't file a police report because they're illegal. And they know that those that are illegal that are over here committing the crimes, they know that they can do that shit because they know they won't call the police. So they rob them, rape them, beat them up, do whatever the hell they want to do to them, because they know that person can't call the police, so I'll rob them and take their shit because they can't call, because if they call, then they got to go too. And then they got to find me. I'm illegal too. They can't find me. That's what happens. So it's like to try to not acknowledge that, and you know there are plenty of people that are suffering from that. It is what it is. People talk about the cages that Joe Biden and Obama put together and built. Those kids are over here, and I think that was Tommy who was just saying that the other day. Those kids are over here, and their parents know they over here, and they ain't trying to come get them because of just what she said. I know that my kid, even though he in a fucking cage right now, or was in a cage, I know he got a better chance at a better life being over there in a cage than being over here on the other side of the border.
And that's
Go ahead.
And that's the thing. Whenever they bring up the kids in the cages, most of the time, the kids that are not real parents is with I don't know how to say it in English, but it's called coyotes, and they're basically paid to smuggle people to come. We say coyotes, and and a lot of the times they almost use kids as like passports just to get here.
Yes.
And so for people to like, say that that's okay, it's not, because this is how human trafficking starts, and this is why the human trafficking rates in Mexico are so high, because they literally give them a free pass all the time. And it's a real insult to me, because I have younger family members that could be them. They could be and especially like my sister, where she's like, I guess you could say light skinned. She looks, I guess, passable for a white girl, and some people look for that, and they will literally try to find those types of Hispanic kids and sell them. So for people to say those kinds of things is like very insulting to me. Like, we shouldn't promote that kind of stuff. We should make sure that these kids are indeed, in fact, with their parents, and not people that are trying to smuggle them off and use them as passports.
I totally get it. I understand it. And the thing is like, that's one of the things that we talk about. And your mic is like really going in and out. It's really distorted. You sound kind of like a transformer. So I'm gonna have to go to somebody else. But and thank you for the phone call. I just want to say that when we talk about the different things that are occurring in, with children, the things that are occurring, that's a reality. It's terrible to think about it. It's terrible to talk about it, but it's still a reality. To not acknowledge the fact that there are children being sex trafficked. There are young girls, young boys that are being sex trafficked. It's happening. And there are parents that are behind it, that are participating in it, that are using it as a, hey, this is the only way it can happen. This is the only way I can do it. They're using that to get over here, to do whatever it takes to get over here. to know that somebody has to come over here and work as a sex worker and make enough money, hoping that they can bring over another family member, hoping that they can get reunited with their parents or whatever the case may be, that they'll bring them over next if they come and do that. That's a harsh fucking reality, but it's a reality nonetheless. When you're talking about those things that are happening and what people are doing to get over here, it's terrible. But just because it's happening, it's not our responsibility to sacrifice everything we have here to fix it. It's something we can do to help and aid in trying to stop it, which is why Border Patrol is so important. Because if we can get a good hold to where people just ain't popping the fuck up over here on a whim, then it's going to be harder for those people to get over here. And then that means the market for those people doing that thing would be drastically cut low to where it's not happening or damn near not happening as much as it is now. But the way that it is now, the way that it is before the 100 and something miles of wall that's been put up, now the wall ain't the cure, but it's damn sure a deterrent than more of a fucking open field. So it's like we have a lot of things that we have going on in this country that are wrong, that need addressing, that need attention, but it all ain't just something we can just fix overnight. Just saying. Go ahead, Julius.
Hey, what's going on, Brian? You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, man. What are your thoughts?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say it's real. What I found sad about the election was I baited a couple people that were close to me that I know, like my mom and stuff, and asked them, pretty much, okay, why did you vote for Biden? And no one I asked could come up with a reason other than, oh, Trump is racist, and it was like I'd ask them, well, do you agree with any kind of stances they have on any topic or anything? And they always just came back to the fact that they just thought Trump was racist and they couldn't tell me anything else. And I'm sitting there, I didn't want to argue with them, but it was just amazing to me that no one, that's all they could say was that he was racist. And I could even bring up the fact that Biden did a eulogy at a Klan's member, a Grand Dragon's funeral, and all this other stuff, and that he's on tape saying he don't want black people in his neighborhood and all sorts of stuff, and Kamala's lack of integrity and stuff. Yeah, but that's not as bad as Trump being racist. And I was like, Jesus Christ, and I was like, okay, and it was sad to me, man, that people were just voting off of their feelings. They weren't voting off of, everything. I agree with pretty much everything. I got here hour late, but pretty much everything everybody said, I agree with it, and it was like the people I talked to, and asked why they couldn't come up with anything. And I think the Democrats knew that it was just a popularity race. And that's why they didn't really have to, be like, hey, you need to, say what your stance on this is, because they knew how much that people just hated Trump, that's just how I feel about it,
And let me say this. The reason why all of this stuff comes out about Trump, and the reason why people can only say shit that's not true. Trump is a racist. Trump is the way that he's not presidential. I don't know what the fuck that means, but whatever.
Yeah.
He also, the fact that Trump, what's the other one that they say? They say he's a racist, he's not presidential, and he divides he's dividing the country. That's one of the other ones.
Yes.
The reason why people say that is because they don't have shit on him. I've even heard people say he's got 3 wives. He's had 3 wives. He cheated with Stormy Daniels. They don't have anything on him as a political candidate. He colluded with Russia. Well, they had an investigation and they said there was no collusion. Oh, yeah. Well, you can go over that. All it is talking points. And the reason why these talking points are out like this, it's because the people, the powers that be, that want to control presidents, they can't control him. And that's
Right. Yeah.
why there is such a just fog of why I hate Trump. And there's
Yeah.
no concrete evidence. And like I've always said this to anybody I've ever discussed about Trump, I say, you tell me one thing that Donald Trump has done while being in office. Fuck some shit that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Tell me one thing that Donald Trump has done being in office that another politician has not done, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And nobody says it. Nobody says anything. Right. You can't show me that. People can't show it. So that's why they just say the shit that's out. They say those hot topics and those hot phrases because that's just what the media has put out there so that you can have this illusion to say, I don't like Trump because of this. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's sad, man. That I don't have any kids, but that makes me fear for the future generations if that's all it takes for people to just lean to one side and completely, not even consider what's best for the country. They just going off a popularity race, man. That's pretty scary, man.
Yep. I can say this. I was talking to my niece, beautiful girl, young, on her way to be a dentist. I'm so freaking proud of her. I just can't say it enough how proud I am of my niece. And I asked her, I had accidentally FaceTimed her and we just got to talking. And we got on the subject of voting. And she asked me who I voted for. And I said I voted for Donald Trump. And then like I did the first time. And then she said, well, why? I said, well, who did you vote for? She said, I voted for Joe Biden. I said, well, why? We were just talking. And she came back and she said, a few of her points was Donald Trump is racist. And I said, how? Yeah. And the first thing that came out of her mouth, I'm telling you, and this is just, an innocent young person. In the fullest, just to the fullest, just an innocent young person. First thing out of her mouth, she said the Central Park Five. He was racist. Wow. I said, do you realize that was back in like 85? I said, and then it wasn't just him that wanted to lock them little dudes up. I said it was the entire country. I said the reason why he was trying to get them locked up and he wanted them locked up and said what he said. I said because the police department and the media all spun it to where these kids did it. There was never any doubt. I said, so he reacted off of what he was being shown by the media and by the police. I said, there wasn't any, this Mexican kid is the one that actually raped that lady. There was no evidence. They went and picked those kids and that was it. I said, there wasn't any due diligence. There wasn't no DNA. I said, there was none of that back then, sweetheart. I said, but you wouldn't know that unless you actually went and did your research. And then I said, what's another one? And she said, well, Biden is pro-choice. I said, why you, and in my mind, I'm like, why would she say that when she ain't really pro-choice? I said, you telling me that you're for a baby being aborted at 9 months? Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Not 9 months. I said, well, how about when the kid is actually born in a delivery room and the kid could be either given an injection or the kid can just be left there to die? Are you for that? No. I said, okay. I said, you realize that I just mentioned two things about pro-choice that you not with, but you saying you with it? I said, sweetheart, I said, look at it like this. In today's world, with the medicine that we have available, I said there should be no reason for anybody to get an abortion. Because if you're having sex, you should be on the pill or on the whatever 99 other birth control methods that we have. I said, and if not, if for some reason you do have sex and you do have it unprotected, there's a plan B that you can take within 48 hours after you've done so. That would keep you from being pregnant. Well, and then she can't, and just as innocent and as smart as she want to be, she came back, well, what about those people that get raped? I said, it's such a small percentage of the people that do get raped. I said, but if you do report it, they give you a plan B when you have a rape kit done. I said, so do you understand that there is no reason for anybody to have an abortion if they're just responsible a little bit with their sexuality? You can go out and get all the dick that you want, but as soon as the condom break, you should buy plan B. Or when you're going out and you know you're going to get you some, you should go ahead and be on protection already.
Yep.
It was like, I said, sweetheart, you have to do your research and you have to question those things that are being presented to you. I said, think for yourself. Somebody tell you something, I said, and you can go and look up the things that I'm saying. Somebody tell you something, I said, hear them, but go and verify it. And it's like that. It was just that when I had the conversation with her, because I love her to death. I said, but when I had the conversation with her, I said, this is the young mind of America. It's all, it's I can talk about any and everything else, but never any self-responsibility or self-accountability. There is no, let me look at this and think about this for myself for a second and then come with some real concrete talking points.
Right. I read a comment the other day on Facebook. Some woman said before the election, she said something like, I can't remember word for word, was pretty much like, once we get Trump out of office and people can stop acting their racist ways and the country can come back together. And then I replied to her saying, what does somebody in office have to do with your personal behavior? And it just, I was like, and it just kind of dawned on me that a lot of people think how she, think just like that about him. And I was like,
I saw somebody in the chat. I saw somebody in the chat earlier posted. They said, I can't remember who it was, but they said, well, at least with Biden in office, there won't be no black on no policemen or something like that killing black folks for the next 4 years, or no racist something for the next 4 years. Like, now when you talk about all of these so-called injustice shootings that have occurred, to where Black Lives Matter had to be on the scene, you do know that like half of them happened when Obama was in office.
Yeah.
You do realize that. So why you think all of a sudden that the president is going to stop this from happening, from black folks getting shot by the police, or for any type of so-called racist stuff happening, how the president has direct control of that? I don't know. But it's just a matter of just how short-sighted people are and how little they think. They literally would just say some shit that you tell them. They'll say some shit that they hear, and they'll say some shit that totally negates them from having to be responsible or accountable for their actions. They with it. Just tell me.
I agree.
Just give me the answer. And it's like when you have that type of society in control and as the majority, it's a huge problem. Go ahead with your last point.
Yes, it is. Ignorance is bliss, man. But hey, man, that's all I had to say, man. Great show, man, and I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Julius. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go back here to the Green Bay guy. 1985. Hopefully your audio is working. Can you are on the air?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
What's going on, Brian? Well, one thing about this whole thing to me, Joe Biden is a pawn. I mean, this is not really about Crazy Joe. This is about Kamala Harris. She's vice president, first woman, in office, and I think that's more relevant. We could talk about Biden all day, but I think it's more about Kamala Harris than anything.
And why
We've
do you
had
think, why 45. Do you think that?
Go ahead.
No, why do you think that? You saying it's more about Kamala Harris than Joe Biden? Why is that?
Well, I don't think Joe actually made that decision to have her. And I think that was talked in to him. If you get what I'm saying.
You
I
broke
think
up.
he
Say it
was
one more time.
around. Yeah, I want to keep it clean. I don't want to be too, too you know, uh, verbal about it. But I think he was talked to into that. To get her. I don't think that was his decision. I really don't.
So,
That's just me.
well, I would say this. I mean, I think the reason why Kamala Harris was put on the ticket with Joe Biden is because she's going to serve the liberal agenda regardless. I think that Joe Biden was just used more so as a prop to actually be the white male guy that's had some political history, and because he was from the Obama administration, then he was able to carry over some of that validity as to why he's running. But I think the biggest thing about him is that he can be controlled. And I think the other part to that with Kamala Harris, why she was selected, is because she has no integrity. And therefore, she's going to do whatever her people that are telling her what to do, she's going to do it. She's going to go where the wind blows, no matter what. If everybody's saying, "Hey, you need to go and say this," she's going to say it. She is that person that you want that's going to do whatever you really tell her to do, just because she's that type of person to say, "Well, if you give me what I'm asking for, I do whatever." I mean, literally, and that's why people always refer to her with the whorish type of tones to her, where they call her headboard Harris. I just saw somebody post a camel toe Harris, all of that. I mean, she has no integrity. This is a woman who carried on with a married man who was a political figure for years just because it was advantageous to her career. So it's like I get what you did and why you did it, but when it comes to who you are as a person, that's a clear indicator as to who you are. I mean, what type of woman does that with a person for years on top of years on top of years, then try to come back and act like they have integrity? No way.
Bro, I think women talked him into that. I think he was around. You know how he used to hug on women and kiss people's daughter. I kick his ass. He comes to kiss my daughter.
No.
He was kissing women. I think he was around women.
Joe Biden didn't
And,
have a
and
say.
you,
Joe Biden didn't have a say in it, just like Bernie Sanders didn't have a say
yeah,
in it.
I don't think he had a say. I think
He
that
didn't
was.
have a say in it. It was just basically saying, this is the ticket that we putting together. And what I'm telling you is the people that are the string pullers, the puppet masters, that's the string that they pull. I know that, number one, I can get what I need done with Joe, and I can get what I need done with Kamala. That's it. They serve a purpose. They will serve the agenda. It's the path of least resistance is what the Democrats want. Well, who's the motherfucker that we can control the easiest, guys? Can we control Joe Biden? Yeah. Well, what about Bernie Sanders? Everybody seems to like him. Yeah, but Joe's gonna be a problem. I mean, Bernie's gonna be a problem. We can't control him. All right, fuck it. We'll go with Joe. Same thing. It's like you got to realize that when it comes to the Democrats, they are going to go with the person that they can get the most control out of, and those tend to be usually your seasoned politicians.
I'll
That's
give
it.
it a year and a half. I'll give it a year and a half. That woman to be in the presidency. I'll
and
give it
and
a year and a
and
half.
see, and that's the thing too. Either way, whoever gets it, I mean, because like they say, if Joe Biden gets unseated because of whatever, they won't just say he's unfit. They won't do that. They'll say it's medical reasons. They'll say he's sick or something like that, and he's
What
gonna
about
do what's
Nancy
best for
Pelosi?
him and
Nancy
his
Pelosi.
family. There's gonna be some bullshit like that. But if that does come to happen, then that means that Kamala becomes president, and then Nancy
Year and a
Pelosi
half.
becomes
Year and a
vice
half.
president. And if
Year
that
and a
and if
half.
that happens, it's gonna be a thing to where Nancy Pelosi is VP. So that means they're laying the groundwork for the next term, and then they're gonna lay the groundwork for the next president. It's all about controlling the agenda at all costs. And if it's a bunch of women or a bunch of old senile men that do it, fine. We just need to get this thing where we want it to be and keep this shit going the way we want it to go. That's it. That's all that it is. And my thing is this: both sides got an agenda. Both sides got the game that they want to play and how they want to play it. That's why I said earlier, we need to start looking for politicians that ain't politicians. We need to start voting for and supporting people that are actually fucking people, as opposed to, oh, this person speaks so well. He's such a seasoned politician. He's so presidential. I don't give a damn about how you make me feel. I give a damn about what your abilities are and what you gonna do for me. That's it. Go ahead.
45 presidents. I think it was 48 vice presidents. All of them men. I feel like that's a torn, and I don't feel like it. That's a tarnished history with men. Can we have anything sacred? Do we have to have women in everything now? What is sacred to men now? Now that the president, regardless of color, presidents, 45, 48 men, strong men, regardless of color. Why we gotta have a woman in there? How we get to this point? Why we can't? You can't have anything sacred as a man.
Here's my thing. I wish that we could get to a point to where that doesn't matter, whether what your color is or what your sex is. But as long as we have the social injustice and the social imbalances that we have when it comes to men and women, we can't have it to where it's going to be fair. As long as a woman don't have to be responsible or accountable for the things she does or the things that she says, as long as it's okay to whenever a woman fucks up, all she got to do is cry, or all she got to do is say she was abused or she was raped when she was a little kid, and everything that she's done after that point is okay. As long as we as men keep supporting that type of agenda, we're going to be in this position to where we have fuck shit like this happening.
That's so
I'm
true.
just telling you, as long as there are simps on this planet, as long as we allow feminism, or what I like to call it, female supremacy, take precedent over doing what's right, we're going to continue to be have this problem. We're going to continue to have these type of issues, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be concerned if the person is a woman or a man, if the person is black or white. We should be concerned about what they do and what they have done. Yes, you can be well-spoken, but can be a fucking asshole. Yes, you can be one of the smoothest or one of the most finessingest, if you will, people that we've ever met. But if your actions ain't shit, then you an ain't shit person. I don't care how good you look in a suit or how good you look in a dress. That's just what it is. If we want to take this thing and be real with it, we have to start judging people on what they do. Listen to what a person says. And I told my niece this the other night. I said, sweetheart, especially when you dealing with people, I said, and more so for you, when you dealing with men, listen to what a man tells you, but watch and trust and believe in what a man does. I said, because what a man does is who he is. That's it. I said, if you see a man telling you all how much he love you, how much he want to do for you, how much he gonna buy you, where he want to take you, how he gonna treat you, that all sounds great. But if he telling you that he love you and yet and still you see him fucking your friend, you catch him talking to some other chick on the bus stop, or you catch him in the classroom with some other girl talking and all up in her face, or you see the DMs, or you see his text messages show him fucking around, then that's what he is. Regardless of what he say, that's what he is. I said, if you see me get up and I go to work at a firehouse every day and I come home with fireman clothes on, smelling like smoke every day, I said, what's my job? She said, a fireman. I said, exactly. Do I have to tell you that? No. I said, why? Because I see it. I said, exactly. That's how it should be for political candidates. Fuck all that shit you talking about, Joe Biden. 47 years or 50 years, you ain't did shit for niggas. I don't believe you gonna do shit for niggas now. Plain and simple. Kamala Harris, you lied about listening to Snoop in the fucking 80s and Tupac. You lied about all of the shit that you want to do and all the shit you're gonna do. I saw you fucking a married man for 20 years. I'm gonna say you a side bitch, and a side bitch is not a trustworthy bitch. I'm just telling you. She ain't came out and said, I was in love with Willie Brown for 30 years and he said he was gonna leave his wife. She ain't said none of that shit. She just kept on stepping. She Indian one week, she a black woman the next week, and she in Wakanda the week after that. Bitch,
Brian,
that means you just lying your ass
have
off.
her. Yeah, they got her described as black and Asian. Is that correct?
Man,
because her mother was, I heard, was Indian.
Her mama
and her
was
father was.
I think her mama was an Indian scientist or something like that, and her daddy is from Jamaica. And he a light-skinned
Asian
Jamaican,
at?
so he was. I think he's a Jamaican professor or some shit like that.
What
I don't
Asian
give
at?
a shit. She ain't no nigga.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
But see,
all I'm
that
saying.
resonates
Call
with the
yourself
women,
what you
though.
want, but don't call yourself a nigga. I'm a woman of color. That's true, but you ain't no nigga. All these motherfuckers talking about, that's a black woman. We got us a black woman in office. First Obama, now her. Bullshit to the back.
Bullshit.
She's not. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's fine. She's an American. She a lying ass side bitch, but nevertheless, she's an American. Why do we let people jump on and off of the nigga train when they want to? I forgot who, I think it was Ice Cube or somebody said it. Everybody want to be a nigga till the police show up. Now the police here. I'm not black. That bitch was actually on TV on a bitch cooking show talking about how much of an Indian she was. Fine. Namaste and be that. But don't be sitting here trying to act like you black now just because it's convenient. That's all I'm saying. And why people are not speaking out against that, I don't understand. Why y'all ain't saying nothing? Y'all cool with anybody that want to be a nigga if they got some if they got some status, or if they on TV, or if they got some celebrity. Y'all fine with it. Everybody talking about Tiger Woods is black. He got a black daddy and he got an Asian mama. He's black Asian. I'm just saying. Just like Malcolm X. He's all the way white boy. And what do? He's black. Even when you talk about how he talked about Kamala Harris, he drugged that bitch on social media. Go and Google it. Don't take my word for it. Go and Google Malcolm X and Kamala Harris. He drugged that bitch. And literally 6 months or a year later, he was praising the bitch. Real talk. Oh, this is so great to have a black woman and she's now going to be a presidential candidate. This is amazing. Before that, he was questioning all of the shit everybody else was questioning. Bitch, you done locked up a bunch of niggas and you done gave a bunch of niggas a bunch of max sentences. What the fuck is up with that? Never had to address it though. Why? Because anything is better than Trump. Yeah, okay. Be careful what you wish for. Because you just might get it. You just might get it. And all these people thinking that everything is going to be all hunky-dory and butterflies and unicorns now, that these two sneaky, lying-ass motherfucking racists, I don't give a fuck, whoring out motherfuckers are in office, you better hope they don't sell your ass up the river. That's it. That's all I'm telling people. Y'all trying to think and y'all think it's all easy street. I pray, I hope to God that Trump does the impossible and flips this fucking election. I swear to God I do. I hope
Brian,
he flip this shit.
That election score, Brian. I watched it. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I agree with you. His score was 214. for at least about a week and a half, if I'm not mistaken.
They left that shit at
and then Biden went up to 290.
It was
you crazy.
213. It was 213.
When he got New York, I was like, oh man, this ain't looking good.
It was 213 up until the day that it went all the way to Biden. Never changed. And then when they changed it from 213 to 214. So it was 213 all this time. 213. Then when they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and make this nigga the king, we're going to give him one more point, and then we're going to give him all the rest to a 290 or whatever the fuck he had, 286 or whatever it was. All I'm telling people is this. When you see the shit and you see that the shit is like questionable, question that. Hey, wait a minute now. How this dude just ain't getting no more motherfucking states? None whatsoever? It's motherfucker still counting. How about that? It's motherfuckers still counting votes. But we already at the end of the game.
Based upon
I'm telling you, you cannot be a genuinely truthful, honest, and righteous person and not see this bullshit. Anybody that does, anybody that's okay with this shit, I am truly side-eyeing and questioning your integrity. I just am. And it ain't about if you could be like, oh man, it is cool, it's cool, this is cool out, man. It is what it is, man. Just go ahead and go with it, man. I'm questioning your integrity.
Brian, can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
Can I be totally honest with you?
Please.
I ain't vote. I said, fuck that shit. I said, I didn't vote. Y'all can call me all kinds. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me. I did not vote. I didn't. I voted for Trump the first time, but I didn't vote this election. I said, fuck that. The hate is so strong. As you can see, regardless if it came from individual votes or whatever, that hate it's so strong. To what? My vote gonna escalate to 291 for Trump? That stuff was so. I said fuck that. I said I love Mr. Trump, but if I was with him, I let Trump know, hey, this ain't looking good. This is all. That was all based upon hatred. I don't care what nobody said. That was based upon hatred. You can explain it all you want, not you, Brian.
I understand.
You defend that.
I understand what you're saying.
That's hatred, pure hatred for a man.
I understand what you're saying, but I have to hold you to task too, because when you're talking about what we're up against, do you realize at some point or another, all you have is what's right? You have to, if we're not willing to fight for this thing that we call America, what we call righteousness, what we call being right, what we call right over wrong, good over evil, standing up for justice against injustice, if we won't stand up for those things, then we kind of deserve whatever we get.
Yeah, I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying.
That's that, and I'm just
it's
saying.
It's like a lottery ticket.
We owe it to those that have come before us, and we owe it to those that are coming after us to do our very best to do what's right in life. Period. In life, and regardless of social justice, regardless of the social justice warriors, regardless of the left this, regardless of all of the people that do this and say that, the people that's all about this and all the people that hate us, the people that love. Dude, I have lost friends over the past 4 years. You think I give a fuck? No, because I look at it like this. I'm doing this shit for my kids, my grandkids that ain't even here yet. I got a fucking 4-month-old right now that I got to think about. And I'm not going to say fuck voting. I'm not going to say fuck this whole game, this whole process, because when my kid is 18, I want him to look back at his dad and say, yeah, my dad stood in the face of all this fuck shit and did the right thing. That's what the fuck we need to start taking. We need to start taking better care of the fucking truth than letting just the world take care of us the way it wants to. We have to start taking a stand to say, look here, man, I'm doing this thing in spite of, because it's the right thing. I'm sure
I
at
hear
some
where you're coming
point,
from.
think about Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure it's plenty of people that was like, Abe, fuck you. Abe, you ain't shit. Abe, you a nigga lover. Abe, you a bastard. Abe, you son of a bitch, you destroying our country. Abe, you a motherfucker, I can't stand your motherfucking ass. You ain't coming to my house no more, Abe Lincoln. And you know what Abe did? He said, I'm doing the best with what I have in the moment, and I'm doing the right thing so we can fucking win. Because if
Yeah,
we
you may
let
not
these
like him
Confederate
if he's doing his
motherfuckers,
job.
if
Yeah.
we let these Confederate motherfuckers hold on to these slaves, they're going to eventually kick our ass. And if they get smart enough and begin to give them motherfuckers rifles before we do, they're really going to kick our ass. And we all going to be picking cotton. That's what the fuck he was up against. That's what he was thinking about. The bigger picture and saying, let me do what is right. He even said it himself. Niggas, this ain't the place for y'all. Y'all was brought here to be fucking tools and property. Y'all wasn't brought here to live this dream that we trying to live. So this ain't the best place for y'all right now. This ain't the best. Y'all should get the fuck out of here if you can. But that's not what it was. It was all about you just taking a stand and say, this is what it is. When you look at civil rights, especially the civil rights for a white person that was in support of niggas getting rights, imagine the type of life they had to live. Now, we had dogs and fucking hoses and shit turned on us. We had our asses getting beat. We got stoned, boots on us and everything. But we at least got fucked up together. The white people that supported the civil rights movement, they were shunned by their own. They were motherfucking disowned. They was called nigga lovers and all that type of shit. They didn't have nobody else to go to and to take and to be cool with, to have family with, to be in a community with. They had to say, fuck it. I'm gonna stand up and do what the fuck is right. Why? Because it's right. That's it. Whether it's white guilt, I'm tired of being the slave master. I don't give a fuck what the fuck reasons why you begin to change. The fact of the matter is that you're willing to change is what we should all be fighting for. And yes, you might even have to die for it. I think it was wasn't that Louis Farrakhan said it. You're gonna die anyway. At least have the testicular fortitude to die for what's right, as opposed to being a coward that's going with the status quo when in your heart you know it's wrong. The fact that you choose not to research, the fact that you choose not to verify, the fact that you choose not to do what's right because it don't make you feel good, it's the problem. You are a part of the problem when you stand by. And I'm not just saying this to you, I'm saying this to everybody. Fuck all of the shit about this is what's cool, I don't want to get canceled, this is what they gonna say about me, my family gonna hate me. I love my family, but fuck my family. And on everything I love.
Sometimes
I
you gotta
moved
say
down
that.
here to motherfucking Texas on my own with me and my wife because I wanted a better opportunity and a better life for us. Ain't nobody else in my family ever did what the fuck I'm doing. I wasn't down here on the good graces of somebody else. I wasn't down here getting the hookup. I was down here, motherfucker. I had to live in a fucking raggedy ass motel for 30 days because I wanted to do this for my family. And that ain't no pity party. It was lonely than a motherfucker. I miss my family and all that shit. But I knew what the fuck I was going after before other motherfuckers knew it. And you know what I heard? You going down there to Texas, they racist down there. Even when I moved from Chicago to Michigan. Damn, man, you going up to Michigan, Joe? Man, why you gonna leave Chicago? It was a better life for me there. And it was a better life for me here. And hey, I've had my ups and downs. I've had my struggles. I'm glad I'm here. I wish I'd have moved here 20 years ago, goddammit. I like it in this motherfucker. But the thing is I did what was right for me in spite of what everybody else was saying. Now, everybody and their mama that me and my wife know talking about Texas. Ooh, I want to come down there to Texas. I like it down here. I'm thinking about moving. Maybe I should move to Texas. What you think? How's it down there? You like it down there? Oh, but when I was moving down here, it was all quiet. Everybody was watching to see what the fuck was going to happen.
We ain't gonna like the football team, but yeah, it's all right, I guess.
Well, I'm a
like the
Bears
football
fan,
team,
so
none
hey,
of
it is what it is. I was a Bears fan in Michigan. I'm a Bears fan in Texas. I'm just stupid like that, I guess. But we have to do what's best for us and do what best serves us as black folks and as individuals, and not in that order. I'm telling you, this is what it is. Because when you don't, and you just go along, you wind up never growing, you wind up never reaching your full potential, and you really, truly wind up missing out on a life that you probably would have only dreamed of. And I don't know how I got here from an election talk, but I'm just telling you, we got to start standing up. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. One of the reasons why I love Tommy so much and why I appreciate what the fuck he do, that nigga opened up not my eyes about Trump. He didn't just open up, he opened up my eyes about life. He gave me a different perspective and how to look at shit, how to question shit, how to say something even when you know everybody ain't with it, saying it because it's the right thing to do. That's it. You ain't got to say it to where everybody feel good about it. You ain't got to say it to where it make everybody okay with it. Sometimes you just got to say what a thing is because that's what the fuck a thing is. And if Joe Biden is a Ku Klux Klan raised, lying, racist motherfucker, so be it. I'ma say what the fuck it is. And if somebody says something different, I'ma say, hey man, prove it to me. Show me. Tell me. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I ain't always right. I ain't always got it together. But goddammit, I do have enough fucking testicular fortitude to say what the fuck I know to be true in the moment. To say what I know I have seen with my eyes. That's why when I was talking to that Rosenberg motherfucker, he trying to tell me that didn't happen. Motherfucker, I saw the fucking numbers. You not gonna tell me some shit that I saw and tell me that ain't what the fuck I saw. I don't give a fuck who you are. You gonna tell me that I didn't see almost 100,000 votes come in for Biden overnight? That's not what happened. You're conflating the truth. Man, fuck you. When I'm looking at
that kid.
And everybody in the chat is saying, yeah, that is it. Actually, it was 130,000. I'm like, dude, I know what the fuck I saw. You just trying to tell me some shit for the sake of telling me some shit. You think because you talk and you long-winded and you can fucking filibuster and just run your mouth about a bunch of shit that ain't even talking about the point? You think because you're doing that, you're well-spoken? No. You're just a motherfucker that's full of shit talking around the point as opposed to addressing it. That's why I told that motherfucker, answer this question. Asked him once, twice, 3 times, no answer. 4th time, answer. That's all you heard. A bunch of fucking nothing. But that's usually what the motherfuckers on the left do. Tell me why you're voting for Biden. Because he ain't Trump. Okay, fuck that. Fuck Trump. If he was running up against Jesus, would you vote for Biden? Yeah. Well, tell me why. What is his plan? What is he trying to do? Oh, well. What do you mean? You motherfuckers, you mean to tell me you ain't got his fucking plan? Go to his website. Oh, well, you got to pay to get on his website to see his fucking plan. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Then when you tell that to people, yeah, but Trump, though, is a racist. That's all you got,
yeah,
player.
That's all they got.
That's all you got for me, huh? Trump is a racist. That's it. No motherfucker. Well, what he did with the Central Park 5. So back in 1985,
nigga. Kids up from the parents. All
1985.
That's what you get too.
Exactly. Them boys' parents was serving their ass up. Don't you say nothing. Not just say that you did it and just let this go. Cause they might get me and I might lose my job. What? What? And even when I talked about that Central Park 5 shit, I said, you know why them boys get railroaded? Like I always say, because motherfuckers don't know the law. Them parents didn't even know that the fucking police can't even question your kid. They sat in there with them. Let's let us get questioned, son. Cause you don't know shit. You just listening to what a motherfucker tell you. You let them fucking racist ass detectives tell you what they was gonna do to you if you didn't go along with it. As opposed to saying, fuck you, Detective Smith. Fuck you, Detective Rosenberg. Fuck you, Detective Jakowski. Me and my son the fuck up out of here. Nah, bitch. You got any evidence? We got a woman in the hospital. That ain't evidence, motherfucker. That's a victim. We's out. Let's go, Jamarquavius. Get the fuck up. And if you come touch my son, I'ma fuck all y'all up. How about that? Put that on the record. But you know why motherfuckers won't say nothing like that? Because you don't know the law and you don't know what the fuck you can and can't say. How dare you question my son? Let's go. But we got questions. I don't give a fuck about you or your questions. You don't question my son without me being here. We out. Motherfuckers don't know they can do that. They don't know it. Motherfuckers come tell me my son in jail. First thing I'm gonna do is come in there and say, get up, let's go. You charging him? You got any evidence? Well, we got questions that we need. Fuck you and your questions. You'll see me with my lawyer after you get a motherfucking warrant. Let's go,
bro. You got that police background. You got the knowledge and
all
you
I'm
know
saying,
what to do.
yes, and all I'm saying is,
but I get you. We should have that too, though.
Yes,
You're
exactly, right. Exactly.
Well,
you should go and look that shit up, research that shit. Find it's not hard to find. All you got to do is look, and if you don't know, get a professional that do know. What they got my son? Oh, let me call a lawyer. Hey, and everybody ain't got money for a retainer. I get it. But you can do something. Find you a motherfucking paralegal. Find you a law student. That motherfucker ain't gonna charge you no retainer. Here, man, go $50. Can you tell me what I need to do to get my son out of jail? Well, what's happening? People don't even realize that. When you looking for a professional and you can't afford one, the first place you should go, I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's true. First place you should go is to the school where those wannabe professionals are. Do you remember the TV show Better Call Saul? Saul started shooting his commercials and shit with a fucking bunch of college kids that was in film. He got a motherfucking college student to do his makeup. He got a college student to get the equipment. He got a college student to write up all of the shit to do the sound and to hold the thing. Why? Because those motherfuckers are trying to be that very thing on a professional level, and they need experience and exposure just like you do. I'm just saying. Go ahead with your last point. So we can go ahead and go to the. I got two more people I want to get in here before I get
man. That whole election was based upon hate, man, and I'm just a man's legacy as being a man. Like I mean, I feel like we shit. We did. I'm talking no feel. We did lose that, man. I mean that and nothing's sacred. Nothing's sacred. I don't feel like nothing's sacred no more. We got to get that back. We have to get that back. As men, I get it that a woman could do. Yeah, I mean, so we should see now, Brian. Come on, let's be honest. If that can happen, we should see WNBA players drafted to the NBA. About it. We should see this. We should see this. I know I'm joking a little bit, maybe, but if you could do what men do, then we should see you in the NBA. We should see you be the. But see, I don't know. All this stuff it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But I do appreciate it, Brian. I mean, it's late. You know what I mean? I do appreciate you, Carl. But I'll see you on the Sunday, the 29th, 7:20 p.m. Well, I'll see you on the 29th.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
we got till the 29th. All right, brother.
Have a good one, man. And here, let me go ahead and address this real quick. Over on the United Guns of America, said the mayor of Detroit with hair, Brian acting like a grown baby. You see what I mean? I don't know what that means, but they just put that shit in there. What does that mean? Cannot articulate a point, man. I don't know what is wrong with niggas. We just cannot have a conversation. You gotta just throw some stupid shit out there, or as some people said before, typing out loud. Go ahead. So, Blood, go ahead. What do you got to say?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
You know who it is.
I don't, but you got about a hot 5 seconds to make your point.
You know who it is? Is it Rosenberg? It ain't Rosenberg. Well, I'm Blood now.
Have a good night, sir. Solo.
Man, hear me.
Go ahead.
Man, first off, I can't believe it. It's damn near 2 o'clock in the morning, and you doing that stuff. First off, do you have anything better to do with your time? Not you, man. That just that clown a while ago. What was that?
Hey, man, has no life. He's a 23,
But anyway, man,
he's a 23-year-old, probably living with his parents. He probably got some, probably parents probably got some probably well-to-do, probably got a little money to where he don't have to go and do shit, so he don't have no job. He ain't got to get up in the morning. He living off his parents. He probably ain't doing shit but playing his video games, drinking Monster drink, and obviously ain't got no woman, and just sitting around beating off to whatever type of porn is his pleasure. And he just finished.
Hold up
so
now.
he said, "Hey, I'm still up."
You getting a little bit too home right there.
Just saying. I'm just telling you what these fucking nerdy motherfuckers do. They don't have no life. Player. A fucking entitled fucking entitled ass motherfucking white boy sitting at home. That's what they do. When they have nothing to live for, they have nothing going for themselves. That's it. Sitting at home under mama, or sitting at home under mama and daddy, waiting on them to die so he can get that inheritance. I get it, but you're not gonna troll me. That's all I got to say. Go ahead though, man. What are your thoughts?
All right, man, about this election, man. It's a lot of things that just don't add up. All right, y'all saying he campaigned, the man Trump campaigned with mail-in, didn't campaign with mail-in ballots. Prior to all that, before all this went down, he was campaigning mail-in ballots until he saw the fraud that happened in Arizona prior to. Our folks don't know this. Arizona had a fraud election going on prior to. First Senate ever became a Democrat. Number two, this ain't new. Every time a mail-in ballot came through, you can date this as far as back as Abraham Lincoln. Hell, even Andrew Jackson for what a man named Razorfish said. This ain't new. Every time a mail-in ballot come through, it's always some damn fraud after. That's all I got to say about that, man. If you can't see the signs, you just can't see the signs.
And I guess that was one of my things about this is, with the whole mail-in thing, the mail-in ballot has always been suspect and always been problematic. And it was just a matter of time before it was exploited. That's just it. I mean, it was just exploited. I mean, it was done. I mean, if you see that there's issues with something, that's why I said, even if you just want to go back, not even counting the other elections, because I'm sure there was some version of some form of mail-in fraud with ballots before, with every election probably. And they're not saying on a presidential level, but I'm saying on a local level. I'm sure there has.
I'm gonna give you.
So it's like if if you see that there's an issue, there's some type of opportunity for it to be bullshit. Why not get that part out of it, or at least address that part to where it's not an issue that can actually sway an entire election. Because that's what
and then like,
essentially what happened.
and then like not just that, man. When all this was going down, man, everybody across the globe was saying fraud is happening in your country right now. Y'all elections being stolen from y'all. They have said that it's a certain percentage. I don't know if it's a high, like a 60% or 30% of the countries in the Middle East don't allow mail-in ballots. The president of Mexico.
No, I mean, and that's why I said that would be like one of the first two things if you want to actually try to fix. Just I'm gonna actually do a video. I'm just gonna record a video, a short one, maybe like a 15-minute video, and just talk about those things. If you really want to fix this, first thing you need to do is do away with mail-in ballots. Second thing you need to do is say your ass got to come vote in person. Third thing you need to do, you get 30 days to do it. That's it. I mean, that in itself, if you talk about this election, if you talk about the election in 2000, if those three things were in place, you had 30 days to come and vote, and those ballots are counted as you vote. Not we wait until the day of the election on the 3rd, on the Tuesday to count them. Nope. If you get 10 people to come in and vote today, you count them 10 ballots and them 10 votes. If you get 200 people to come vote, you count them 200 people that come and vote on this day. You count the votes as they are being placed. Plain and simple. Those people come in person. They actually have to sign an affidavit. Their licenses are checked. They are validated who they are right then and there. And even if you want to put it to where you got to have 2 pieces of photo ID. Your ass got to have your passport. You got to have your driver's license or your state ID. That's what you got to have to come and verify that you are who you are or something with your address on. Fine. That's what I do. I show up. I got 30 days to do it. Now, the other piece to that is what? Once I get this stuff, I come and I vote. I got 30 days to do so. I'm good. No mail-in ballot. If you can't make it here, I'm sorry. You're going to miss out. Well, I got a right you do. You got 30 days to write your ass into this place to vote. Other than that, I'm sorry. We cannot allow you to vote from your home, and we cannot verify who the fuck you are without a doubt.
Hey, you got a right to own a gun. Don't mean somebody got to supply you with one.
Exactly. There you go. I like that.
You know, you got a right to free speech. Don't mean somebody got to tolerate it. They can't. Exactly, they airing their rights to whoop your ass too.
There you go. It's just that thing to say. I mean, we got to draw the line at some point. We just do. The fact that you had states that literally just sent out ballots to every registered voter. We all know how inaccurate that shit is. People die every day. People die every day. So who the fuck is filling out that ballot? Then you have people that are already dead that all of a sudden, I saw a video where they said 1,400 people had these ballots that were being contested, and as they were doing it, the first 10 were people that were already dead. How does that work? Who filled out that ballot? Who mailed in that ballot? You don't know.
And then, like, for the people saying that, like, that's just a small number.
Hey, look here, HWR. Either you click the fucking link or get the fuck out. Do not spam my fucking chat. There's your first and last warning. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, if need be, I can let it on. But I was saying, like, they are saying, like, 140, you know, that's small. That's not enough proof. 1 is too much. If you can find 1, you can find a many. That's like saying, you know, it takes only one time. I mean, it only takes one time to have sex. You know what I mean? But a lot of things can come within that one time, man. You can steal and get years in prison, and you can only steal one time.
Right.
One time is too many, especially for criminal activity. People don't understand it.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to this probably this last person. I hope it's this HWR person. I hope that's who the fuck this is. But thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Alrighty. Go ahead. A little bitch. You are on
What's
the air.
up, bitch? You know.
That's it?
You know. You know. Come on now. Engage me. Let's talk about the Bears. Talk about the Bears.
Well, sir.
You don't like that? You don't want to engage in that?
You
Al Robinson?
engage that?
Tariq Cohen?
Do you
Snapped his
see
leg?
this shit?
Oh, come on.
Do you see this?
Come on. Come on. Come on.
And this motherfucker's also, he got another person, he got another one too.
Yes, for blood.
See?
Yeah, blood.
So this motherfucker has created additional accounts.
I
to
have
just come in
created
here
multiple
just so he can
ballots.
say,
I am
you want to engage?
stealing the vote.
Do you want to engage me? Engage? Do you see the type of shit that you have to deal with doing this? This is what I was talking about earlier. It's like you have to be able to say, I gotta stand up for what the fuck is right. Because if I don't, then it's gonna be these type of fucking motherfuckers that's gonna be fucking running the country. That's exactly what it is. It's just like over in the United Guns of America. That dude that I put into the thing, like Brian acting like a grown baby. I said, okay, click the link. The dude was called the Mayor of Detroit with hair. This motherfucker responded and said, I am at my mistress. I can hit the link, but you are, I guess his dumb ass is saying I can't hit the link because he's with his mistress, I guess. But still came back and said, I can hit the link, but you are definitely Mr. Bojangles. So I'm a famous fucking dancer? Like, that's what the fuck I am. I don't know what that means. Mr. Bojangles was a dancer, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, what the fuck is wrong with Mr. Bojangles now? I mean, he was a performer, wasn't he? I guess. I don't know, but that's what I am now. I'm Mr. Bojangles. Guess I'm stepping, fetching. A bunch of fucking black people that like did a bunch of shit so that other black people could fucking actually have some type of fucking career in Hollywood. I guess so. Sammy Davis Jr., I guess I'm one of them too. Who else? I don't know. I guess that's what it is. But that's who we dealing with. Buddy Lee is fat and we all know it. I don't know what the fuck that means. That's the person's name. Trump lost, Mr. Redmond. Just get over it, dude. This is getting real sad now. Won't hit the link and won't explain what you're saying. What this person is saying. Could not articulate the point if you paid the motherfucker. I specifically came out and had an entire show for people to articulate their points. And they can't. They can't. Niggas cannot articulate their point. They just literally, all they know are hot phrases. That's it. That's all they are. They just like, I'm just a bunch of fucking cliches, a bunch of fucking catchphrases or shit that I see on Hot Topics on The View every day. That's all I am. If you ask me to explain what it is that I'm saying, I cannot do it, sir. So please just accept my blurting out of the words that I'm going to do. That's just it, I guess. I don't know. But how is that supposed to, like, I don't know, change my mind? Or are you really making a point by saying, get over it? This is getting real sad now. But you would think that this person being with, I mean, if he had any type of sense, this person would then say, oh, I'm gonna come on here and explain to you how this is looking real sad. Oh, I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna tell you why you should just get over it. You would think that's what the person would say. Like, they, instead of just making statements like, yeah, you know, I can make a booger talk. Okay, how does that fit in what it is that I'm saying now? All right, now we got somebody that says, I have sense. Now, this is either a person who actually just made another account, or this could be somebody else that's in the chat. I got time.
Hey.
See? You
Get
see
a
this
life.
shit?
Get a life, relationship rehab. You both know that we don't have lives.
No, motherfucker, no, motherfucker. I actually do. I actually do have a life. You're the one that's watching me, nigga. Don't put me in that boat with you. You're actually watching me. Yes, you are at home on your computer, literally making up accounts, literally going in and out to actually watch me. Not you, but me. Me. You're watching me. Like, it's like Buddy Love and Nutty Professor. You are not you, Sherman, but me. Me. You're at home watching me at 2:15 in the morning, dude. I ain't been on here in 6 days. And I came on here to put on a show. I took the time out of my schedule away from, I had to wait until I did all the shit I needed to do today because I do have a life, sir. I spent time with my family. I went to the gym. I went to the grocery store to get food for my kids and to make sure we had the things we need. I then came home after going out to the gym, tired from my workout, going to Sam's Club, going to the Walmart. I then came home and I actually cooked. I made some salmon for my wife. I made some salmon for me to take for lunch this week so that I could continue to eat healthy. I actually did a lot of shit. I put the clothes in the machine and put the clothes in the dryer. My wife, she's folding the clothes. And all of that, she's taking care of the baby. She was spending time with the kids and stuff today. We all did our thing. I did all of that, and all the while I'm saying I still need to go ahead and go live and talk about this because this matters. And what you did, you came on here, I gave you the opportunity to speak, and because I didn't go along with your bullshit, you then turned around and tried to troll me and spent the rest of your no good ass fucking evening watching me. Yes, little old me. I'm just a little YouTuber. I don't have no 30,000 people watching me like Brandon Tatum do. Hell, I don't even have 5,000 people watching me like Tommy do. I might be lucky enough to get 500. I'm a 100, maybe 200 little small YouTuber in a little small corner of the YouTube sector. But I do work hard for my artists. I'm just saying. You watching me, bruh. And that means that I'm doing something that's worth a fuck. Because I have a piece of shit person like you trying to tear down what it is that I'm doing. Same thing about good old Mr. Buddy Lee is fat, and we all know it. I don't know what the fuck that means. Just like the mayor of Detroit with hair. And every last one of these other motherfuckers that ain't got the balls to hit the fucking link and have a discussion. They just want to troll and they just want to talk shit and they can't articulate a single fucking point. All they can say is, he racist, you a coon, you a Bojangles, I guess. I still don't know what the fuck that means. That Bojangles thing, I totally missed all of that. But whatever. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, y'all watching me. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Unfortunately, we've been going long enough, and my wine is gone. So that means the show has come to an end. What was that? The ladies' man that said that? He said, yeah, the show is coming to an end because I just finished off the last of my Courvoisier. I think that's what he said. Oh, man. This dude said, look, now listen to this. All right, I got about another 11 minutes. This dude says, come back. Buddy Lee is fat, says, Mr. Redmond, if you don't like it, then leave the country. I never said I don't like it. I just called out the bullshit. That's you motherfucking liberal motherfuckers that was talking with Trump won 4 years ago. I'm gonna leave the country. I ain't gonna stay here. I ain't got no president. My president is still black. Do you see that shit? That's all this motherfucker can type is shit that don't make no sense. That's it. That's all the motherfucker can do. It's like, it's so fucking terrible because I guess here's what bothers me the most. I'm gonna go ahead and call a thing a thing. What bothers me the most, even when you have fucktards like Ann Rosenberg, the dude that was using his mama's fucking email account, I'm sorry, his mama's computer in order to sign on. Even you have people like that. The problem is this. I'm more disappointed because it's black folks. It's niggas that can't articulate themselves. It's black folks that can't come on here and talk. It's black folks that can't even have a conversation. We're the ones that do it the most. We're the kings of that shit. It's black folks that do the constant trolling. It's black folks that won't leave niggas alone. Did you see how Tommy was begging a dude today? Like, man, just leave me alone. You don't get it. I don't want to talk to you. I've told you several times to leave me alone. And they can't. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Home. Leave me alone. Just stop dogging me around. Yes. Jihad just could not leave that man alone. And he ain't just one. It's hundreds of niggas that do this. They keep coming back. They change their names. They disguise their voices. They do any and everything just to fuck with somebody for the sake of fucking with somebody. And when you try to respect them, to give them an opportunity to speak, when they do finally get enough balls to make an actual statement, to speak on what it is that they're trying to say, they can't do it. I wish that these people that come on here that just talk shit and troll would be able to actually articulate themselves and actually have conversations once you do give them an opportunity to speak. I wish they could. Because it would truly get to a point to where we could actually build and get somewhere, as opposed to doing this stupid shit. It really would, but they can't because they're uneducated. They don't do research on anything. They don't know how to speak. They have no command of the English language, and they literally have nothing to say. As terrible as it is, and I'm so disappointed in the fact that it's niggas that do it. They leading the pack. Anything that's bad, niggas at the top of the list or trying to get there. And we cool with it because we always see it and don't never speak out against it. It's terrible. It's terrible. And it's consistent. It is consistent. They constantly doing it. Niggas won't consistently get educated. Niggas won't consistently get jobs. Niggas won't consistently leave a nigga alone that's being asked to be left alone. But they consistently fuck with you. And you know what? The only thing that make a nigga stop is when you have to threaten their physical safety. Just like now. There's another motherfucker that done popped up into the stream yard. I'm sorry, Ugly Truth, but I'm not going to answer no more calls tonight. This dude then came back and just made yet another account. Why? You have nothing to say, sir. But yet and still you want to troll me. That means I have plenty of living space in your head. That's what that means. Actually, I run your mind and your thoughts. I own you, LaRusso. I own you. That's all it is. I'm in your head, anime. Bitch, you die, I kill you. Nah, take that shit home and smoke it. That's what it is. So, let's go ahead and let's do this. I'm gonna end this young streamy yards. That's done. We're gonna close out. There we go. And I'm gonna just say this, man. I hope that this helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I hope that we begin to question those things that we see that are not right. I hope that we look at things that we see that don't seem like it's on the up and up. Something seems wrong. Something seems not right. Something seems to just be questioned. I hope that we get to the point to where we just begin to at least question that which is questionable. That's all I'm saying. This is just an election. But if this is how the rest of our elections are going to be, do y'all really want that? I hope that Trump can turn this shit around just to give a nice big fat fuck you to all of the people that are trying to turn this shit and burn this America that we have now down to the ground. I really do. I'm going to keep on holding fast and holding true to just that. There's still time. Want to give a shout out to Julius. Hit your boy off with $5 on the PayPal. He said, great show once again. Keep up the momentum, bro. I'm trying, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys who did come and have good conversations with us tonight. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I was able to actually give people an opportunity to speak about this. I'm glad that I was able to have a conversation with y'all about this because it matters. It means something to me. And if it means something to me, I'm glad that it means something to y'all too. I want to give a shout out to my man, Michelle Cobre. He says, thanks for what you do and the Midwest up, bro. Peace. That's what's up. Want to give a shout out to my man Brass Man Taker. Hit your boy off with $3. My man Michelle Cobre hit your boy off with $5. He says, you got my support, brother. That's what Brass Man Taker said. Hit your boy with $3. Thank you so much. And my man Copycat hit your boy off with $20. Thank you so much. He says, for what you do. Do what you do. Thank you. That's what he said. Appreciate that. And also, my man, It's All Bad. Hit your boy off with $5. He says, Trump won it Tuesday. Biden stole it Saturday. Shaking my head. Man, facts. That's what niggas say. Facts. Big facts. It is what it is, man. I'm telling you, hopefully the process, there's a way to circumvent it and to get back to it, man, and we can turn it around. And if not, we gonna live through this, and this too shall pass. I'm just telling you that's just how the shit works out, man. We'll survive this too. Let's see who else we got here. Let me check on the PayPal side of the game. Hold up. Why the fuck did I get that? That is not. Yeah, I can fix that. I don't know how the fuck that shit happened. I turned that shit off a long time ago. But yeah, it is what it is. But I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate all of my mods. Y'all did a great job tonight, mods. I want to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all were really, really good. Y'all did what I asked you to do. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Y'all always do an outstanding job. Y'all take care of a brother. I do thank you guys for that. Thank you guys so much. Everybody that commented, click the like button. Hey, update. We are at 6,500 subs, and that means we got 2 months left to get another 3,500. We can do this. Click that like button, click that subscribe button, and send this shit to somebody else. Tell your grandmamas, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters to just subscribe. Click the subscribe button. That's all it is. That's all I got to tell them to do. Tell them, click the damn subscribe button, man. I know you don't know this nigga, but just do it. He got some shit to say. I'll be watching it, so you should watch it every now and again, too. That's what you got to do. Let's get to 10,000, y'all, before the year's out. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys have a great night. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I love y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in Soto Nation. And last but not least, but always, shout out to my brother, Tommy Sotomayor. I love you, bro. I hope you're having a good night, too. I will see y'all next time. Until then, peace, and I'm out. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go out on a different note tonight. Let's do this.
Why would you fuck with my crew? Why would you fuck with
Yeah, we're going to go out with this. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all. Peace. Something else from the Wild Wild Thugs, baby.
I won't rush to greet you, slugs to meet your flesh. You can bet that, my nigga. I suggest you pack your vest, you failed the test. When you fuck with the shots best, we the men, each kin, homie. Bury pussies in the backyard. We got a handle on your whole car. Fuck you up, now you don't seem so hard. I will heat you up, in the gut, fuck your slut. I put a boot up in your bitch ass. Rough a couple when a gun blast. You kinda quick, but your bullet moves so fast. You seeing glimpses of your life past. And you wonder why you down south with your ass out. No teeth and a wet mouth. Your bitch ass just died, nigga, lights out.
Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down. Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down.
Back to your baddest bitch, don't to me she's an average chick with average tits that I kicked up fat as shit. While your shit sounds average, you little bitch ass cabbage trick. When I ride, she get critical. I'm Mac Love Factor, individual. I turn the punk motherfuckers to a spiritual. Murder lyrical and y'all niggas fear it though. I got you in the street, motherfuckers paranoid. Just coming through with the wild homeboy. You making noise when we play with the thug doors. Y'all cats better learn about Leroy. Nigga, I'm the Mac D-O-double-G. Put it down for the thugs locked in the P. Fuck with me and get dealt with from the jump. Wild sharp niggas ain't never punks. Never once shut your mouth, nigga.
Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down. Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down.
First of all, personal, G.O. worst of all, curse you all, burst your balls. If I reverse the revolve, the hammer click clap, better search your draw. To the earth we fall, to the dirt we ball. Y'all niggas better back up, act up. I'ma load that gad up, that Mac up, and split your back up, your fat up. I'm a murderer, nigga, I will murder ya. Bust in your apartment, blood stains on the carpet. You don't wanna start shit with the blood brush artist, regardless where. If you fuck with G.O., he coming in your house. He kidnap your kids, your spouse.
Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down. Wait for folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down.
My niggas screaming, wild, bitch, niggas better bow down. 12 train, call it low down, ready for the motherfucking showdown. Coming soon to a hood near you in your town. We got thugs for days, bullets for graves, motherfuckers better get back. Hit that 2 times to the left, get with that. Cause where I'm from, punk motherfuckers get smacked.
Wait grown folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin, shut him down. When grown folks talking, motherfuckers better shut your mouth. Put a nigga in the coffin.